Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a special finals edition of the Ace and Ektar Heroes of the Storm casting podcast. I'm still Ektar and he's still Ace. Welcome back.
Hey, it's good to be back. This time we're in A East. We've been in B East for a little while, but it's good to take a step up and get to cast this game today.
Yeah, this is the division that I was in. I have played both of these teams, and I think I beat one and lost to the other, but both of them, it felt like they won both of them, even if the score doesn't reflect that. So they're very good teams.
Yeah, we do have Team Happy Cloud against ParsleySnagRosemary&Line, which is going to be, I think that falls in like the upper category of difficult team names. Nowhere near Yavapai, but...
And it's not anywhere quite as funny as the Randy Newman squad, but, you know.
Yeah.
I'm vaguely aware that ParsleySnagRosemary&Line is some kind of a musical reference, but I didn't take the time to figure out what it actually is.
Yeah, yep. Aura, first one with the woo! I like
Welcome,
it.
Aura. Big fan. Yeah,
Big
so
fan.
we have our Coastal Finals match, and we've actually got a nice little graphic for you all to see how it is, in fact, that we got here. With,
Wow.
Tainted Orphans.
Macro getting here.
Tainted Orphans is going to be the ultimate opponent of whichever of these two teams play. Team Happy Cloud got here beating 2 Calculated, 2 Thorough, and Sky 5, which was the number 2 seed, beating them in a 2-0 fashion. And ParsleySnagRosemary&Line got here beating Insomnia and Beast Coast, which were the number 4 and number 1 seeds, dominating the number 1 seed, in fact, last week. So really strong playoff performance from both of our teams here.
Yeah, for sure. I'm waiting to see the graphic go up so I can, remember it. But
You know, 45 seconds is a long time, but I like having just a little bit more than a 30-second delay personally.
I personally agree with you too. There it is. There it is. So yeah, that's a nice. What do we have? A 5-3 matchup here, or
Yep.
4-3? I'm not sure.
They are the 5-3 matchup. Parsley Snag was number 5, and they beat 4 in their initial round
Okay.
match.
So you have 4 on the between screen. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Oh, do I? That's
Oh, you might. But that's okay.
You're right, I do. Let's fix that.
Yeah.
Boom, updated, and we're going to go back to that screen
What a unit.
so you can see the update.
Fantastic.
But we're not going to stay on the screen for very long because we actually have our first match coming right now on Brax's Holdout, which gives me time to update because I didn't actually fill out the map bands.
Oh, that is a thing, but you could theoretically talk about those map bands as you fill them in. So, Ektar, in the microscope of things, how did we get here?
So Team Happy Cloud, as the higher seed, got their choice of first pick or map pick. They opted for map pick, which is an unusual strategy in today's meta. They banned out Volskaya, ParsleySnagRosemary&Line banned out Sky Temple. Team Happy Cloud then banned out Infernal Shrines, the Heathens, ParsleySnagRosemary&Line banning out Alterac Pass. We find ourselves for game number 1 on Brax's Holdout, again as chosen by Team Happy Cloud.
So, Ektar, have you faced Team Happy Cloud on Braxis specifically? Do they have something up their sleeve for what I would presume to be the off lane? But obviously could be any number of things. What are they?
Honestly,
they have
this
anything special?
is a really strange pickup because they don't play this map very often. This is really one of ParsleySnagRosemary&Line's maps that they choose to go to. They've got a low win rate on it. They're 2 and 6 in wins, but they've chosen
That's
to
how
play
I feel.
it 5 times, I think.
That's a real feel. I think we were something similar on Duratins where we ended 2 and 5 and 2 and 6, but we love shrines. So yeah, that's an interesting one. I want to see what kind of specific draft picks come out here. We do have Zarya Ana banned out by PSR and L, and we've got Orphea and Greymane banned out by Team Happy Cloud. Those are definitely targeted, not the Storm League meta bans that you see.
For sure. And both of these teams, I was actually going to say don't particularly play into the meta, but Cassia is getting picked up, which is really a bit of an unusual choice for either of these teams. Cassia only played twice for both teams At least before last week. Stats of the Storm wasn't updated for last week, but still, 3 out of someone 30 matches when Cassia's been kind of on a tear the last few weeks. Makes it a bit of a surprise pick, but at the same time, she's so popular right now, it's not really a surprise.
Yeah, that's definitely how it feels right now. After the balance patch, Hero's profile still has Cassia sitting at a 55 win rate with a sample size of nearly 2,000 games across all leagues, so still seems to be fairly powerful overall. If you filter down to Diamond Master, she falls to about 10th, but that's still very strong first pick.
Still top 10.
Yeah, it is.
And Sweet Bun's getting one of his, I would call 2 signature heroes in the Blaze, the other kind of being the Samuro. So I think if you're THC, you've got to be really happy about getting able to pick up your Blaze one trick and also Deckard Cain, which is one of the really standard healers in the meta right now, and even more so after the Rhaegar nerf.
Yeah, especially after that. He's been a staple in the meta, even during the Rhaegar meta, because Stay a While and Listen is such a good disengage tool. Against Bloodlust, it's a long interrupt that allows your team just to put so much space between you guys and the other team while they're Bloodlusted. And Ruby is just kind of amazing.
Yeah, and if your opponents go into a blow-up comp, like, Shielded Potions are still really decent at that kind of damage mitigation, plus Kanai's Cube giving you that big damage cut. Like, you don't think about Deckard as a burst prevention healer, but he can do pretty alright. We've got a Cho'Gall.
Yep, that's the spice. We don't have the very nipply Cho'Gall, though, that has been recently released.
Unfortunate. I forget... what is it? A dodecahedron? Is that a 12-sided object, or is that a 20-sided object?
That is a 12-sided.
Nice. So yeah, the dodeca-nippled Cho'Gall is not going to be seen in this game. But there's still 2 picks for Snag and Linehouse to pick up some kind of a counter to Cho'Gall. And, you know, Garrosh and Stukov aren't necessarily Cho'Gall counters, but at the same time, when it seems like Blaze is going to be running the top lane, then throwing Cho'Gall and getting a stun into tower range is really powerful.
Yeah, it mitigates Cho'Gall's ability to effectively hold space.
Although
he's so powerful.
They did just get buffed too, so I actually don't know how good Cho'Gall are.
Oh, let's not look up Hero's profile because sample size. We respect sample size in this house.
I really want to see a Garrosh throw into Stukov massive shove on Cho'Gall back into their own towers. That would be incredible.
Make it happen. The 2 picks we didn't talk about, really, the Artanis and the Tassadar, the little Protoss duo here. Crow being in the off lane against Blaze and Tassadar is a good hero. Trademark.
He sure is. Is he still top 10? I imagine he is.
I was looking at Cho'Gall. I'm so sorry. I'm keeping you down.
That's okay.
In Master Diamond, he is sitting at 50.2.
Kind of lower sample. Not very high. But
no, for Master, that's low. Master Diamond.
People just kind of like him. He's definitely been the new hotness since his little buff.
Yeah, that's strong agree there. 51.43. It said one thing and gave me the other, but still, that's about average, so not actually insane, but still pretty good.
It's definitely got that perception. Spawning on the left-hand side in the blue trunks, your number 3 seed, Team Happy Cloud with Swoos playing Cho'Gall, R27 Delta playing Deckard Cain, Brett Michaels is playing the Blaze, which shows that they swapped off actually, and Ferret is playing Thrall in the top lane.
Like the double F emphasis there, well done. Yeah. On the right side of the map, your number 5 seed in the red trunks, it is Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Line with Winterheart on Cassia, Snag on Garrosh, Linehouse on Stukov, Crow on Artanis, and Professor Bobo on Tassadar.
So checking the level 1 talents, we don't have the new updated level 1 for Cho'Gall going for, I believe, the standard, but I don't know if you can really call anything that Cho'Gall does that standard.
Strong agree with that. I believe that's the still the best talent for him previously, as the 15% healing is actually a big deal.
Ooh, a big root coming out from Deckard Cain, hitting it onto 3. We did see him going into the Sapphire on level 1. So being able to slow people down with his W before getting the root. It does combo on a lot of heroes if you get the timing right.
That is true. We also have Body Check from Garrosh to kind of counteract the bonus healing that Cho'Gall can get when he's low. I actually really like that pickup
also,
from the
it just
Garrosh.
got buffed, didn't it?
Did Body Check get buffed?
I thought that it did.
I will check the patch notes while this game continues at some point.
Another root coming out onto Winterheart, but no follow-up at all is going to find him. Brett Michaels actually pretty low. And Deckard Cain, known for a lot of things, but unless you pick up Ruby, is not known for his raw healing throughput, so it's going to take a while for him to get his allies topped off.
Yep, that is very true, and he is low on mana to start this game, so that will give Parsley and group the ability to take first control of the button on both top and bottom.
And Artanis did go in for Quest at level 1, so not looking for wave clear, but just looking for raw fight on the point potential, which has allowed him to get point first.
Yeah, he's going to be able to duel Ferret pretty well, just gaining stacks on stacks, but is going to have to hearth back after a protracted duel.
Yep, which will give a little bit of parity as Thrall's able to take the top point, but bottom has been in possession of Parsley Snag for the entire time. There's really not been any contest coming out from Team Happy Cloud. Cho'Gall getting brought down really low. Snag is going to find a Q, but isn't going to get anything beyond that, and that is going to be Cho'Gall having to full back.
You are correct, Ektar. Body Check was buffed, cooldown reduced by 1 second, slow duration increased by 1 second.
Nice.
So, well done. You read the part of the patch notes that I did not.
I have read all of the patch notes at some point, but I don't remember all.
I have to listen to Kevin Cloak Johnson a little bit more.
I did know that Blaze got a couple of buffs, but pretty sure New Habits was not one of them. It was the other actives that got buffed.
Yeah.
And also one of his other talents got changed.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
Ooh, Thrall killed in the top lane as Crow is just barely able to eke out enough damage to win that 1v1. 67 stacks already on that level 1 quest is very nice.
Yeah, that's actually quite a bit, grabbing 10 bonus from the kill, but that's still 50 plus auto attacks that have been put on Thrall this game so far, so making actually quite good progress on that quest and should pay dividends later as he's able to trade it in more favorably.
Yeah, we hadn't mentioned it, but we did have the camp getting picked up by Parsley Snag, and that's putting pressure onto this bottom wall. And Zergwave is going in their favor as well. Cho'Gall is the next to fall. Really good body blocking coming out from Snag and Winterheart.
Yeah, that's Cho'Gall's biggest weakness overall is he's a late game hero. As much as he is a big body that can cause problems, he has and always has been a late game hero. Nice swap by Crow as he rotated down in the bottom, goes ahead and swaps Delta in and goes for some of those Ruby potions, but the Body Check is going to cut the healing by 30%, and Decker goes down. Brett Michaels uses jet propulsion to try and get away, and with the swap attempt, he will escape through the boss channel, but top lane is not doing great.
It's not, and bottom has lost its entire front wall as well, so a really successful first first Zerg objective going over in favor of ParsleySnagRosemary&Line.
That's my favorite race in StarCraft, the Terrans, the Protoss, and the Webweavers.
I would not mind that as a fourth race. If they're not going to put in the Xel'Naga, might as well go Webweavers.
Sure, absolutely. We don't have enough spidery bug things in that game. So, 1 level lead over for Parsley and Snag. So, they're going to go ahead, just leverage their advantage a little bit, take the safe camp here in their siege camp, Hellbat camp in the top lane, and then we'll see if they want to go for an invade or just swap the 4-man and gank Ferret up here.
They appear to want to gank Ferret, and that is going to be a very successful gank onto the Ferret, which, I mean, there's 4 heroes up here. They're going to push down this fort. I don't really see any way for Team Happy Cloud to try and contend with that other than to try and get some counter damage in the bot lane.
And they'll get some of that, but Cho'Gall doesn't siege all that well. especially even with Blaze existing there. At one point, Blaze doesn't siege well, and Deckard Cain trying to siege is just a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, and this is giving the opportunity for ParsleySnag to just push down the top lane, as only Brett Michaels has really responded, and Blaze cannot 1 versus 4. Ferret is here as well to try and push them out, and we did see the rest of the team had to full back, but that's a really successful push coming out from ParsleySnag.
They're making a lot of use out of these kills. They've also come at pretty solid times. They got the Cho'Gall kill right before the objective phase, and then they were able to get that kill right after the objective phase with a rotation up to essentially finish off the top fort that the objective started. So really good timing and really good capitalization of the objectives so far.
Yeah, and very shortly they're going to be hitting level 10, and they should be able to parlay that into an objective pretty nicely.
Please tell me they're going to finish that. They finished that. That would have been a weird decision. But yeah, level 10's coming out very soon. They've got a 3-2 split right now. They, of course, being ParsleySnagRosemary&Line. Jet Propulsion kind of interrupted, but not really, is going to go ahead and pop the Pyromania to cause some unstoppable. Valkyrie misses, as well as I believe that was the Suppression Pulse from Artanis. So a couple ults already being used defensively. And that seems pretty good for Team Happy Cloud.
It is, but they're still down more than a full level at this point, and that means they're going to have a really hard time taking this objective. And what they're doing right now is they're putting 1 versus 1 and 4 versus 4 when they're down heroics, and it's not going well for them. And I don't know if they're going to be able to make it go well for them before the objective either ticks over or they start bleeding out kills from heroics.
Yep, Artanis, to be fair, did not have an ultimate because he used it down in the bottom lane, but it is back up now. And with these level 10s and the minion wave, they're looking to push into this bottom fort along with the 100% Zerg wave. So this bottom fort rather is no longer for this world.
They did rotate up Blaze, but just a few seconds too slow to get the interrupt on that top point, and that is going to be the second web weaver going over in favor of the red team. Getting a throw and taunt combo onto Thrall. He is taking a lot of damage, but does not yet go down. Brett Michaels goes in with the jet propulsion to try and peel, as well as the Lornado coming out. Bunker is dropped just to save Brett Michaels, and everyone is going to get out of there. And about even ult usage on both sides, but that's kind of unfortunate when you are Team Happy Cloud and you're going even on a 5 versus 4.
Yeah, that is a little bit of a big deal, but they did get a lot of clear onto the Zerg in that time, so looks like only front wall is going to be the casualty of the remainder of the Zerg wave, so that didn't go as poorly as it could have for them, I suppose, as they're trying to make an issue of this 5v4 as Crow is only now rotating down.
Yeah, but I think that they could see him rotating. Oh, a big swap and taunt. Cho'Gall is taking quite a bit of damage. Body check is reducing that healing output. But they don't find the kill out on the Cho'Gall, and a lot of damage was put into the other members of ParsleySnagRosemary&Line, so both teams are just going to make the gentleman agreement to back out and reset.
Yep, and that's going to be good for PSR and L when they're approaching level 13 soon. So it is up to Team Happy Cloud to make something happen. They're trying to make it happen 4v5 though. Blaze is taking a ton of damage. Is going to pop the bunker now that he's outside of the Silence Pool of Stukov.
Oh,
Lornado
actually. Cool Lornado.
That was a really cool Lornado indeed. Winterheart is really sectioned out, but it doesn't look like he's going to go down anytime soon. And again, lots of buttons pressed, no kills had.
Yeah, and yeah, I gotta say, this is, I think, still really good for ParsleySnag, because normally at this phase in the game, it's hard for you to push in when the lanes are pushed out this far. They've just kind of been existing in lane for a long time, which allows them to keep getting XP. They're trading even on kills, which is to say not at all. Snag gets brought down very low. You see the pings coming out onto him, but he's just barely able to walk out of there with the physical armor coming out from Stukov there.
Now, those pings onto Snag are a real feel from Team Happy Cloud. And you see him get so very low, and you're like, just poke him with anything, and
except
just walks away.
So it still needs to be a significant poke for it to actually do anything.
very accurate, but still, you see that bar so low, and it's just like, we've got to make something happen, and it just doesn't quite happen because scaling.
Yeah. Looks like they're trying to find something with that 13 talent tier advantage that they have now. But they don't find it quite yet. It's definitely Garrosh running at someone from a bush. That's the engage right now, but I mean, it works. It's kind of linear, but, you know, if you can make the lines happen, then it works.
Yep. Important power spike here is the virulent reaction from Stukov. Now they have the capability to drop the Pustule into Root Silence combo, which is probably Stukov's most powerful tool in his entire kit, I would believe. I
would agree. We do have the camp getting picked up by ParsleySnag, and they don't trade anything away for it. They lose bottom point, but their opponents didn't have top point, so it's a really good pickup for them. We almost had an engage coming out onto Cho'Gall there, but just barely getting shoved out by Taskmaster.
Yeah, that was a nice little shove away. He's going to go back for round 2, though. Does not stop the body check. There's the taunt into the Valkyrie, into the running away. Shadowbolt volley is going to come out. Crow misses the swap just barely behind him. And that is a bit of a wizard's escape there for Team Happy Cloud.
Yeah, it's not too often you get pulled deep into the enemy team, and the correct escape is go deeper past the enemy team.
Yeah, that was a 5v2, and he walked out with half health. I'm sure Team Happy Cloud will take that every day, as that cost ParsleySnag at least 2 ults.
Yeah, and time. Like, they're down 2 levels, or, you know, Team Happy Cloud are still down 2 levels, but they're not the most impactful levels. They're not down to talent tier. They've managed to get that back up, which means that they want to find a fight before their opponents find 16, because that's one of the hardest fights in the game to try and take.
Yeah, definitely. It only compares with some of the heroic or storm talents. Massive Shove used to keep Cho'Gall away, but it finds a wall very quickly. And looks like buttons just swap control, and the first fort actually picked up for Team Happy Cloud.
Yeah, but they're not finding that fight that they want, and they actually have to send Thrall back to defend that top keep. I don't know if that's actually necessary. There's not a catapult there, but they decide that they need either that top fort, that top keep to stay alive, or the XP. Which, XP is great. It's my favorite thing in the game, but fighting down
behind
16 is really hard.
Akhtar's favorite things include XP, but also Brightwing.
Brightwing gets XP. Why do you think I like her so much?
Fair enough. Looks like ParsleySnagRosemary&Line are going to go up to about 48% here, as they have controlled both buttons and are very quickly approaching the level 16 mark. They have successfully avoided the even talent tier fight for at least a little while.
Yeah, they were starting this camp, but the camp is not worth fighting an even talent tier fight. They can just back off, give it to their opponents. It's not that good. But you know what is that good? 16. They've got it now. They're picking up their talents, and they're looking to fight.
Yep, they've got Martial Law on the Kasi as well, so that is percent damage on auto attacks. That is a big, big impact here, as well as Titan Killer with Triple Strike on Artanis. So if Artanis gets on Cho'Gall, there is going to be a health bar disappearing very, very quickly.
Also Thermalance, you know, casual 8% damage.
Yeah, that too. You know that escape that Cho'Gall did earlier? It won't happen again.
Will not. They see Artanis is in the top lane, so they've decided that now is the time that they're going to try to make a fight. They engage hard onto Snag. The healing from Bloodthirst is actually keeping him up for a little bit. Winterheart is in a really awkward spot and can't move because of that Deckard Cane, so they're getting brought down very low, and they're going to be the next to fall. Cho'Gall is getting the body block onto Linehouse, and they're going to be the third to fall. Maybe the shove getting him just a little bit closer, and that is going to be 3 kills to nothing, going over in favor of Team Happy Cloud. God, I thought that ParsleySnagRosemary&Line were being patient, but Team Happy Cloud took an incredibly patient approach and had a successful 5 versus 4, but down 16 in the bot lane. Really well done by them.
Yeah, that takes a lot of work just to make sure that they don't, you know, you're jostling around those points for 2 to 3 minutes, and you finally find the one time someone split out and turn it into a fight down a talent tier. That is a nice job by Team Happy Cloud, but they're not out of the woods yet. There's a full Zerg wave already there for PSR and L, and that's just... And they've only got 28%, so they've got a lot of work to do, even though they do have a boss pushing here in the top lane.
Yeah, and it's still a 16 versus 16 fight. This is definitely still something that can go very in favor of ParsleySnag and company, especially now that they have our Artanis rotating and make this a 5 versus 5. This boss does a lot of siege damage, but it doesn't help team fights very much.
No, that is true. However, that group of kills, I'll say that in a minute. Blaze goes ahead, gets Virulent Reaction, and is going to get taken out early. Cho'Gall thrown in, and look at that health bar. As soon as he was thrown in, he took a good 20% of his health pretty quick. Crow actually going to take a crap ton of damage from the Shadow Bolt volley. Stun goes on to Tassadar. He's going to get rooted and forces out an Archon. Snag in a bunch of trouble as well. Targets seem to be a little mixed, but they have converged onto Garrosh as a target. Does get taken out just barely by the rolling bomb. It's called Rune Bomb. And that worked really well again for Team Happy Cloud.
Yeah, but it can still go well for ParsleySnag as Cho'Gall took quite a bit of damage from that Thermal Lance. Is getting topped off pretty nicely. Cassio is in a bit of a rough spot. Is not going to get rooted, but does get hit with the Pimp Cane. Is going to drop all of that armor that he had. Winterheart is just lucky to have survived that last encounter. Stukov, however, not so lucky, and this is going to be objective going over in favor of Team Happy Cloud, and they're going to pick up a camp in that same lane. But they cannot let that 94% Zerg wave go in the top lane.
No, they won't get as much as they want out of this with the
oh my god, it
Maybe they
rounds up
try and
to
get
100. Why does it round up to 100?
Yeah, that's why I said 100% Zerg wave. I think you get the whole thing at like 86% or something like that. It's kind of wild. They have opted to send Brett Michaels back, seeing as they are not making the core call. The full-on base trade happens, so...
They're actually full backing.
Yeah, I think they want
a lot of respect to the Zerg wave. They don't keep the keep. There's no way that this keeps staying alive.
There's no way. I agree with you. They're too late on the back.
Yeah.
But prove me wrong? Question mark.
You know what? The Guardians aren't attacking it. Yeah, but the Ultras are. Yeah, that is going to keep going down. On the other side, they have cleared out the Zerg wave and not lost a keep. So I think there was just a little bit too much indecision on the side of Team Happy Cloud. They could have defended that if they all backed and fought it in the lane. They maybe could have gotten bottom if they were willing to sacrifice their own, but they, tried to make two things happen and neither one of them did.
The biggest curse in Heroes of the Storm. Try and do two things and you get none of them. It's one of the feels bad. But as we sit here, level 18.5 for both teams, we are reaching that Cho'Gall scale point. That was the biggest point of that fight earlier when they won 5v4, is that they allowed Cho'Gall to scale. They got a full level off the kills and all sorts of good things. So we're starting to see fights go more and more in the favor of Team Happy Cloud, and it's going to be up to ParsleySnagRosemary&Line to figure out what they're going to do about it. I mean, the answer is all their percent damage and good lockdown, but they've got to make it happen.
Well, the other plan that they definitely seem to be going after is just put out so much macro pressure that their opponents are having trouble dealing with it. And they have a lot of macro pressure that they can put on the map.
Yeah, that is true. Now that the top keep is down, they do get 3 times as many catapults as Team Happy Cloud. So while the talent tiers are even and the heroes' levels are roughly even, the map pressure and map control still stays firm with PSR and L. So, no, it's going to still remain a very tough game for Team Happy Cloud to come back on.
Yeah, and at the moment, the only thing that's available on the map is the boss. It's a minute and a half at the next closest camp. So both teams are just kind of jockeying for position and acknowledging that they can't actually go for this boss. That's suicide for either team. It is way too even of a fight. But at the same time, there's nothing to do, so they're just trying to stay safe, trying to soak the lane and get that slightly faster level 20 to make something happen.
Yep, and it does seem like Red's going to be able to get there, as they've got about a quarter to third level advantage. Waves are pushed out, so it is a little bit of kind of temporary thing, but they're going to rotate down to the bottom lane to confirm up those level 20s and take a momentary, and I do mean momentary, advantage.
Yep, we have the level 20s. We've got the Titan's Revenge, Twilight Archon. Is that the Zealot Charge? It is.
Yeah, I like it.
Titanic Might and Bio Explosion Switch. which
That is
detonates
pretty good.
Detonates Lurking Arm.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, it almost lets you do your level 13 combo without having to have a weighted pustule on them. But we've got the counter level 20s coming in from their opponents. They've got the upgraded Bunker Drop, upgraded Earthquake, Perfect Gems, which makes a lot of sense, Piercing Shadowbolt Volley, and To Be Determined from Cho.
Tell you, Piercing Shadowbolt Volley is an incredible talent. That is, I know a lot of 20s are kind of insane. See, like Johanna Falling Sword 20, or even Radiating Faith.
I mean, it's basically
20...
like Chromie's Piercing Sands.
Yeah, it's...
Except on heroic...
That fight just...
heroic level damage.
Yeah, Shadow Fury just rips teams apart if you can get a reasonable hit off. It is an absolutely game-changing level 20.
Interesting. And Cho opted for the half death timer level 20. So, you know, he's been the one dying, so it kind of makes some sense. I don't mean that like in a bad way, but you know what I mean.
No, I mean, Cho is the one that dies with, I assume, with the body or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not that Cho's been inting. So.
Putting some damage into that boss, but not entirely sure why. Bottom lane actually is going to go down, it looks like, to this singular catapult. And that's a bit of a rough spot for Team Happy Cloud, but there's going to be a game-ending team fight, and it's probably going to happen sooner rather than later. It is not going to be catapults just by themselves that end this game, I doubt. Oh, this push, though.
Let's check the vision on Team Happy Cloud. They do kind of see it swap.
They missed the swap. Valkyrie hits Deckard Cain, and he's already in, and he gets blown up immediately. Earthquake comes out and is providing shielding for everyone, and that's going to see Cassia as the next to fall. Brett Michaels gets a huge stun on the back line, but Brett Michaels is really low as well. Ferret's low, and they are both going to be the next two to fall. That is a 3 for 1. Going over in favor of ParsleySnagRosemary&Line. There's a lot of them to pick up the objective. And Cho'Gall, you know, they've got the reduced death timers, but it doesn't matter if you don't die.
Big thonk there. No level 20 value for Cho. Oh,
there it is.
There it is.
Look at that. 32 seconds.
It syncs it up with the rest of the team.
It sure does, but you know what? I don't think it's likely to matter here.
No, I don't think so. With 5 members down, ParsleySnagRosemary&Line are going to go ahead, march on to the core, have the little fireworks sound effects go off for them, and they'll take game number 1.
Yeah, really well done by them. You know, we were saying it'd come down to a team fight, and you know, they got a really good one there. That Valkyrie, man, that just sealed Deckard Cain so fast.
Yeah, it sure did. That Valkyrie was real MVP tier. Fights, this is going on a little bit longer, Cassia backed, but it does in fact not make a difference. GG Man pops out with his parachute. That is it. Tell you, Valkyrie, it's a pretty good old Ektari. I hear there's some shade thrown sometimes for picking Valkyrie. I don't quite understand it.
You know
seems
what?
Pretty good.
It's got its places. I don't think it's the standard, but it definitely can be effective. So checking out the numbers for that game, hero damage is actually very similar between the teams, at least among the top performers in Gall and Cassia. Healing numbers greatly favoring Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Linehouse with that 90,000 healing over Deckard Cain's 70.
Yeah, but I mean, that's one less body to heal. If you kind of scale that up, it's still relatively similar.
I mean, yeah, but Cho'Gall does have a really big body. It's like a lot larger than average.
Okay, scale it up by a half a player. Still pretty close. But yeah, that was a good, solid game that shows exactly why, exactly how Cho'Gall games tend to go. If you can beat the Cho'Gall, and then you just have to get far enough ahead early so that when they start to scale up, you can still win off one team fight. If you have to kill the Cho'Gall 2 or 3 times in the late game, try and end the game, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Thank you, Ryokai, Galaxy Quest, and McGiblets for the follows during that game. Really appreciate it.
McGiblets, what a name. So, Yeah, moving into game number 2, do we have any information on what Team Happy Cloud wants to do?
We do not. We have 1 sec. All right. Yes, we have found out where we're going. They have opted for map pick again. They had map pick. They chose map pick at the start of the series. Do you have any idea where we're going to be going for map number 2?
I have no idea, so I'll say Battlefield.
You know, that's a really good guess. It's the map that they've picked the most. But we're actually going to one of our favorite maps, Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Good, now we get to call him Zerg. You said it again, by the way, but I was going to let that go as a reference, not as a mistake. But, so yes, advance warning, if we call him Zerg, it's a joke, not a mistake.
Unless it's me, then it might just be a mistake.
It's culture when you reference things that you've already made a joke about.
I'm a big fan of culture.
It is it's a Day 9ism. It's from Day 9 200, I believe. He said it's funny because we reference something that we already referenced in the past or something like that. It's a peak comedy for sure.
I'm pretty sure the number J is peak comedy. And if you don't get that too is a Day 9 reference. And if you don't understand Day 9 references, I feel so bad for you. You should definitely go look at Day 9.
Also so dated.
It really is.
How long ago was that, Ektar? Uh-oh, we're in the reminiscing portion. Oh my god, Ektar, that was nearly 10 years ago. I want you to realize. That was October 21st, 2010.
Oh my god.
Oh no. How is my life? Oh my goodness. Alright, let's get back to this before I realize, have any more existential problems with my life.
Absolutely. So the Zerg's on Tomb of the Spider Queen. I like this map, and I think that, unfortunately, based on the way the previous game went, it's hard to call too much because it was a Cho'Gall game, and those are always weird. But ParsleySnagRosemary&Line had really good rotations, and I think that just overall in the rotational gameplay they had an advantage. But again, it's hard to make that claim when you only have 4 bodies on the map. Ryokai, he knows what's up. He says trumpets in the chat. Makes me happy when other people get the references.
Me too. I was wondering if one of our 33 people would have gotten our ridiculousness. Alright, everybody is ready, so let's go ahead and get into game number 2 here on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Yeah. Got the going from Brett Michaels, and we are in it. Tomb of the Spider Queen.
He actually pressed the button to go 2 minutes ago, but that's just the delay for the start game button.
Oh yeah.
Taking effect.
I know how the game works.
That's, things that occur in Heroes that we just live with.
So, the casual Game 2 question. Were there any standout performances of Game number 1 that you feel deserve a target ban?
If you're Team Happy Cloud, no, trademark. I can't really say that there was a standout performance because they ran a Cho'Gall comp. Maybe the counters are not, maybe the Garrosh they thought was oppressive, but it's because it's against a Cho'Gall. It's hard to bring Game 1 into Game 2 when you run a specialized strat like that.
Yeah. Also, the maps, they play out so differently that I can't imagine you would be worried about losing the solo lane to a stacking Artanis, because it's not a year and a half to get from lane to lane on this map, so you can challenge what he's trying to do in lane a lot more easily.
Strong agree. There's also not a point to fight over where you're forced to auto-attack each other repetitively.
Also true.
Similar bans coming out. Is there a reason for the Zarya ban? I don't see enough Zarya play.
There's not a lot of Zarya play.
And
there was 2, maybe 3 Zarya games. I think Ryokai might have the right call, though.
That could be reasonable. They're going to go ahead and ban the Tassadar, which I think is actually completely reasonable as well, because Wave Clear is the name of the game on this map.
Yeah, but, ban Cassia.
I mean, What about Tan Lacia? That's
Just spend a little bit too much time out in the sun, and is also a pirate.
Yep.
So we're going to be seeing a second first pick Cassia. It performed really well in the previous game. And going in for the Johanna Anna.
Johanna. That's a good first pair picks. Johanna with the... Oh, can we get a Stitches, please? Johanna with the Wave Clear tank trademark before this previous patch.
I like Stitches now. Is that bad? I haven't had the opportunity to play a lot of it, but in theory, I really like it.
I like the changes. I would like to see it come out here. The composition doesn't seem to be leaning into a Stitches, but I mean, I'm not going to argue new Stitches. He's got Wave Clear, and Wave Clear makes every hero viable.
So they had Sweet Buns pick up the Johanna. I think that is a lie, and that he'll end up swapping with someone later in the draft.
That happens a lot. I think we did an interview with Brett Michaels earlier, or we heard of one because they beat you or something like that. And they say Sweet Bun and Brett Michaels swap whoever plays the tank fairly often based on, what kind of flex damage pickup they want to do. So, interesting.
Lulu is saying incorrect Cassia skin. You know what? It might not be the new fancy mythology-inspired one, but can you ever really go wrong with pirates? The answer is yes if ninjas are an option. But otherwise,
true
no.
Fact. Yeah, and maybe if you have to make it, really forced in Battlegrounds, then it might not work so well. But Jaina Sylv picked up. Jaina has full combo with Nano Boost, does, I think, the most burst damage in the game as a single hero. So,
to be fair, you had to add Nano Boost in there, so it's no longer a single hero.
I still think it's one of the highest damage combos in the game.
Oh, absolutely.
Even without Nano. You can just delete people with Nano.
And Sylvanas is an incredible hero because Wave Clear and also a big, chunky, damaging Silence on top of a ring combo.
Seems good.
And we've got a Varian Falstad pickup. Falstad is an interesting choice in this map, I think.
Yeah, I don't see I just wouldn't expect to see a Falstad there in any way. They've got a very kind of backline squishy comp here for ParsleySnagRosemary&Line. And the Varian, we usually see in a bruisery role when taken against the Johanna. Dahaka, are we on Warhead Junction? Hello, Ektar, where are we? Tomb?
Yes, we are in fact still on Tomb.
Wow. We sure we didn't throw up the Sky Temple?
It explains the Dahaka and Falstad pickups. Makes a lot of sense on this map.
Weird. But
I mean, they do just like Dahaka. I don't see a ton of Falstad on the side of Parsley Snag and Company. But yeah, I don't have a good answer to that one. I don't know if you were here, but there's actually a sub playing for Team Happy Cloud. It is a rostered sub. One of their normal 5 players was not able to make it because of a power outage. So it's not the full Team Happy Cloud most powerful roster that they could run. Hopefully we will see them later in the series.
Quite unfortunate. I know the power's been out for going on nearly 5 hours now. So RIP electricity. Hope that gets fixed.
Alrighty, once again spawning on the left-hand side, the choosers of this map, they are Team Happy Cloud with Delta playing Ana, Brett Michaels playing Dahaka, Sweet Buns on Johanna, OJ Juice is playing the Jaina, and Ferret is playing Sylvanas.
And on the right side of the map, in the red trunks, we've got Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Line, with Line playing Deckard, Winterheart on Cassia, Shenanigans backwards on Varian, Falstad being played by Bobo, and Malthael being played by Crow.
It's always a bit weird going into a game after a Cho'Gall game because the names are now different.
Technically, yes. We technically did not have to say 2 of the names because they were
Sweet Juice.
Yeah, that's a difficult one.
It would have been better if they just broke it up a little bit longer, made it into Sweet Juice. That would at least make a little bit of sense. So check out the level 1 talents. We've actually got Race Car Dahaka.
how fast do you want to clear, like, run across this map? Is this like a double soak strat or something? Am I just one of the uncultured fools that doesn't know what's going to happen here? Am I about to be taught a lesson?
I would love to learn something in this game about race car Dahaka on small maps, but I mean, they've got Malthael. It's not a Pale Horse Malthael, but his clear is still better. Although he does get put into a bit of a rough spot, takes a little bit more damage. Actually, Barrett is being brought down very low as well. Got caught by that Decker, and it's going to be a very quick first blood.
Yep, Crow, though, again, gets a little bit lower, but because it's 4v5, members of Team Happy Cloud do not get too aggressive. I think that Jaina also had some cooldowns, and Crow's able to go rotate down to the bottom lane and start reaping some minions for some extra health.
Yep, and Cassia was able to pick up a little bit of XP. It'll be picked up now for the side of Team Happy Cloud, but it actually was a 4 versus 3 in the mid lane a little bit.
Fair enough, fair enough. We do have Thunderstroke from the Cassia because it's a smaller, brawlier, stackable map. We do have the infinite stacking on Q coming out. Good talent. I actually think it's one of the better infinite stack ones because you get more of a boost up front, and then it's less scale dependent. So you can still have that that power spike even without it.
Yeah, and we've also got Seasoned Marksman coming out from the Falstad, which is not the most common pickup these days. You see a lot more Bird Box build, but, you know, there's not a ton of camps on this map, so it makes a little bit of sense given you're playing in a world where you're already playing Falstad on this map.
Good question from Valimar. That is, that maybe was going down. Ferret gets caught on the bottom lane, as they're trying to recontest the siege camp. They get taken out, and again, early game advantage coming out here for Parsley, Snag, and company.
Yep, we do have the taunt very much as expected. Got the Ruby coming out from Deckard Cain, love to see it. And we've actually got Static Shield, which I don't play a lot of auto attack Falstad. What is the normal for an auto attack Falstad? Is it that one?
Let me find the Falstad button and check his
I would have guessed
talent.
it was, what, Hammer Gains?
Yeah, Hammer Gains is the heal one, but they're all essentially defensive talents, so it's however you wish to go about it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Seems fine.
We have Joe going in for the Sins Exposed on 4, so providing even more wave clear, but that is going to be the first turn in for the red team. Both teams actually just being able to pick up their camps as well with that, so relatively even in the mid lane, but obviously the objective favoring Parsley, Snag, and company.
Yep. Taunt goes out onto Brett Michaels, who is going to be taunted, slap him once with his claw, and then run away. Does go ahead and get a drag onto a bruiser minion, so that engage is going to be down as Red Web Weavers descend, and teams split out to the periphery lanes.
Yeah, definitely focusing on the top lane for the most part. They have 3 people up here and keeping just Jaina in the mid lane to defend, although Jaina is a lot of their wave clear. Taunt comes out onto Johanna and is going to get rooted. There's not a whole lot to do about this, but later in the game, you watch, Johanna is not going to be safe as Snag is likely going to pick up the Shattering Throw.
Yeah, Shattering Throw against Johanna, very good. Oh,
Ferret does get taunted with the Banshees on cooldown, and that is going to be the 3rd kill going over in favor of Parsley, Snag, Rosemary&Line. Mid-Web Weaver is going to get cleared, a little bit of damage taken by OJ Juice there. Crow's looking to finish that kill off, but Jaina just a little bit too squirrely, not letting him get that engage.
Yeah, Crow doesn't have the... Malthael in general doesn't have the finisher until post level 10. So you'd had to do some intense tower diving to get that slow tick-tick-tick damage to get the kill, so not a great spot to be in. Looks like they are rotating up onto Snag, who does use the parry, but does not get full comboed, and that'll be the safe retreat back into rotations for both teams.
Yep. We did have Crow pick up the heal cut on Malthael on that level 7, so making sure he can duel more efficiently against Dahaka over time.
It's interesting. That also goes against, on the competing tier, is Die Alone, which is generally considered the superior solo lane talent, but does kind of pale in comparison when you consider team fights, which are much more common on this map.
Yeah. Sweet Bun's trying to turn in 32 gems, but just barely going to get interrupted there. They do have enough for a turn-in, not quite enough on the side of Parsley Snag and company, but they're doing a very good job of goaltending this game. Only 20 gems in, but 52 are available for turn-in for the side of Team Happy Cloud.
Yep, they are going to go ahead, rotate down towards the siege camp, and maybe try and sneak a turn-in along the way if this goes a little weird. Brett Michaels goes ahead, gets put into a bad spot. Bobo, though, dives in aggressively trying to follow up and ends up getting super punished for it. And that's going to allow a siege camp to be picked up and maybe a turn-in as well.
Yeah, and they did kind of take that fight a little bit without Cassia, who just rotates immediately up into the top lane. So even though they're losing heroes, they're getting macro advantages, even on the team fights that they're losing.
Yep. Speaking of advantages, they've got the level 10. We've got Shield Wall, not unexpected. Stay a while and listen, Mighty Gust, Last Rites, and Pending. I was going to try and take a guess at it, but it could be both.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Valkyrie last game. We're going to see Valkyrie this game.
Yep. Sure will.
I mean, it's really easy to target a Valkyrie onto a Dahaka burrow.
Yep, that's very true. Or a taunt target. I mean, anybody taunted can be hit by Valk. So
we do have the 4-person defense in the top lane, but only 4 people are offensing in the top lane as well. So other than the Web Weaver, it's a relatively even fight. We do have the 10s getting picked up now for the other side with the Isolation Nano Boost Water Elemental, so no ring combos coming out. But a big pull comes out onto Jaina, and that is going to be a very fast kill. We have the Wailing Arrow and Blessed Shield, but not being used in... not enough to save the Jaina there. Sweet Buns is in a really rough spot as well, trying to get out. Sleep Dart makes Varian not able to follow up, and that is going to be Johanna barely surviving there. Top is not going to go down, mid didn't go down, bot is not going to go down either. So all forts are still up at the 7.5 minute mark.
Seems pretty normal for this map right now.
Yeah.
It has been improved a little bit with the tower changes being reverted back to normal. I know for a short while, this map was actually just ridiculous and nobody could deal damage until like level 17. Winterheart is in an awful spot right now. Gets tongued, gets taken out, and completely eviscerated. And that's a big, big kill for Team Happy Cloud. They will need to interrupt Snag here. On the top, turn in. Oh, Sweet Buns did not auto-attack, did not blind check, unfortunately for them, so they will have to defend a Web Weaver phase as Cassia respawns.
Yeah, that looked like, unfortunately, a move command instead of an attack move command.
Gets you in every game.
It really, really does. Brett Michaels is just going to find Linehouse, but does not find the tongue out onto Linehouse. I'm sure he appreciates that as the Web Weaver is spawning out in the mid lane and the top lane, pushed in really far in the bottom lane. Cassie is just getting back now. They're going to put 4 people on aggression into the top lane with Snag just kind of blocking the rotations and keeping an eye on the opponents. Mid is going to get cleared out immediately. Bot is likely going to get cleared by Dahaka, but top is going to be the first fort falling in favor of ParsleySnagRosemary&Line.
And we'll see if they can get anything else on top of it. They've grouped up as 5 as they have indicated they might want to do something further. Instead, they're going to take their advantage with the minion wave, go ahead and grab that mid fort that was damaged already. So nice rotation there, not pushing too far. Kind of just out-rotating Team Happy Cloud there, and going ahead and picking up the second fort as well. And third, actually.
Yeah, really good push from ParsleySnagRosemary&Line. We do have that 13s getting picked up as well. It is the Shattering Throw. So I always say, Johanna players are used to a certain level of safety when they have their D off cooldown, and Shattering Throw just rips that off in the most visceral way possible.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, and with the Johanna nerfs and the fact that Laws of Hope is picked, not Stand Your Ground, that is basically an identical cooldown. Shattering Throw has a 30-second cooldown, Johanna D-Shield has a 25-second cooldown now. So both of those are going to line up pretty much every time, so Sweet Buns has to be playing like there is no shield on D.
Yeah,
which
is an awkward thing to do when you're a Johanna player. That's like her whole thing.
Sure. Yeah.
The 13's getting picked up from the other side as well. It is full combo build coming out from Jaina, which you love to see it. It hasn't been quite the standard in a long time, but ooh, big tongue drag coming out, followed on Sleep, but Disengage Gust is going to hit and get Snag on out of there. Linehouse in a bit of a rough spot as well. Brett Michaels trying to chase down that kill. Water Molta coming up for the additional damage, and Deckard Cain is the first to fall. And it looks like they don't want to try and chase any other damage. They're just looking to get a turn in. I don't think this is quite enough for the turn in. Sweet Buns is necessary for that as well. Which I think him not turning in is actually maybe smart because it gives him time to clear out this bottom lane. Otherwise, it was going to do nothing. But it gives their opponents time to take this bruiser.
And respawn. I was wondering, it needed to either happen immediately or get it after all the lanes have been pushed out.
Yeah.
So they did go for the pushed out option. So just what kind of happened. Bobo looking for a sneaky flyover gust or roll over the wall gust.
But he doesn't have it for 5 more seconds.
Yep. So hard to use that ability when it's on cooldown, but he was in position for it if Team Happy Cloud chose to commit.
Yep. So Team Happy Cloud postured aggressively in the bot lane, but as soon as the Web Weaver came down, they just kind of left, which I think is smart. There wasn't anything they were going to be able to make happen there. Instead, they're just kind of get the soak in the mid lane. They got a bunch of soak in the top lane, but they're not going to likely be able to get all that much damage out of it because there is the defense from the side of ParsleySnagRosemary&Line. But it looks like Team Happy Cloud are looking to find something right now. We do have Sweet Buns trying to find probably a Blessed Shield, looking probably for that Cassia, but she opts to take the safe rotation out.
Yep. Right now is like one of the only times this game and even this series that they've had map control. So they are trying to make something happen from it. Ferret gets hit with the very edge of that Valkyrie. Gus doesn't hit anybody, not a windy day in Team Happy Cloud land. Is going to be taken out. RIP Bobo's play, but in the meantime, the 4 other minions or members of ParsleySnagRosemary&Line go ahead and take out the Haka, and that's a 2-for-1 trade in their advantage, and they have Turn It.
Yeah, they've been fighting a lot of just picks with this Valkyrie. It's been landing a lot more often than my Storm League would lead me to believe should.
Excuse me. I take minor offense to this.
You're not the only person that plays Cassia in Storm League, okay?
Yes, but I sure do whiff a lot of them.
That is also true, and you said it, not me. We've got Red Web Weavers coming down again. This is the 3rd turn-in for ParsleySnagRosemary&Line, and this time they're looking for some keep damage. None of the walls are particularly injured, just a little bit of damage into the top wall, but the Web Weavers are going to be spawning pretty far forward, so it's going to be a little hard for Team Happy Cloud to try and respond to this correctly.
Yeah, they could, minimum here is like they'll lose all the walls. Worst case here is a lot of damage. Sweet Buns goes in, thinks they have Johanna trait value privilege, but they do not. OJ Juice going to be put to sleep and comboed on by Cassia. Loses about 60% of her health immediately, and that's going to be real tough to engage this without a frontline Johanna net.
Yeah, Bret Michaels is stepping up to do what he can, but it still allows Snag to just walk up and get the taunt onto to Sylve. She is able to will the Forsaken to break the rest of the follow-up, but that's still most of her health bar going down there. OJ Juice is stepping up pretty far forward as well, and I mean, when you just don't have a real tank, then Varian just kind of stands forward and says, when can I get into charge range?
Yeah, and how often can I do it? And the answer is every
cooldown.
16 seconds. Ooh, Extended Tongue lands on a minion. Tried to make that happen, but no purchase found by Bret Michaels, and that is mid-keep being taken out by ParsleySnag and group. They do go and try and engage onto Snag. Ancient Blessings pop by Deckard Cain, and both teams decide, I guess we're done here.
Yeah, they just were a little bit too far away from that initial Blessed Shield to get any real follow-up, and yeah, just a little bit of an unfortunate engage attempt. It looks like they're trying to make sure their opponents cannot take this camp, as they themselves are taking the camp in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I think there was kind of maybe a gank attempt if the team was to rotate into the bruisers, but instead not a whole lot happens. I don't think Bret Michaels has any idea that this is happening until
I think
then.
He saw that Thunder Fury and
he did.
Is gonna try and get on out of here. I don't know if he actually can though. Oh, especially not anymore.
No, that's a lot of combo going down. Healing was denied due to the what's a 50 healing cut? That's Crow. Touch of Death happening there.
Yeah. That
Big
team fight ability we mentioned like 12 minutes ago.
Yeah, that pays off there. Negates all of the essence that Dahaka consumed, and pretty much gives them a free line to 20, a free line to a boss or a turn-in, and...
Yeah, they don't have a turn-in, but they're
great.
definitely posturing aggressively around this boss. They're probably going to clear the lanes and then go for it, but it's still 16 seconds till Dahaka's down. He does have the dig available, but now that they've got the level 20s, I would not be surprised if they just go and snap in on this boss. We have the Glory to the Alliance, which is the extra healing for allies in the banner area. Perfect gems, wind tunnel, the No One Can Stop Death, I believe that's called, and To Be Determined from the Cassia. This boss has been sniffed out from their opponents because it's all that's up on the map. It gets spotted by Sweet Buns, but it is already too late. Sweet Buns is going to be able to walk out the D-Shield, but it gets ripped off again immediately by Snag with that Shattering Throw. And honestly, I think Team Happy Cloud are just kind of lucky that no one died yet, but we do have the flyover gust attempt. It barely hits a little bit onto Bret Michaels, but he's still able to walk away a little bit for a second, gets Sylve through, but Dahaka is going to be the first to fall. Sylve is going to be the next. And Valkyrie is going to find the Jaina and not the Johanna, so OJ Juice is going to fall third. Nano Boost comes out on a Sweet Buns, because I guess if you've got it off cooldown, you might as well use it, but I don't see a world in which Team Happy Cloud live through this push.
Yeah, Sweet Buns is going to go defect down into the middle lane, and
yeah, he's trying to...
good enough.
Sweet Buns is trying to get on the end screen by just picking up some extra XP, or maybe he's just going to throw himself into this mid fort.
Yeah, one of those things is occurring, but the bigger thing occurring is the coring happening with the boss and 5 members. Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Line go up 2-0 in this best of 5 set.
Yeah, really strong performance coming out from Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Line. Like I said at the start, I didn't know that I liked this map pick for Team Happy Cloud very much because it seemed to play into Parsley Snag Company's favor, and I think we saw that. Generally speaking, they took more advantage from their advantages, and Team Happy Cloud were playing catch-up for most of that whole game.
Yeah, I tend to agree. There's not a whole lot to be said there. It's just clean play for the most part. The Gust ended up just catching Dahaka just enough, which looked really funny. So it was at the very, very start of the little wind effect. It did end up parlaying into the picks that won them the game. So nice job there. And yeah, now we'll have to see, does Team Happy Cloud do one of 3 things? Do they take first pick, take a map that like Battlefield of Eternity that they're more practiced on, and do they ban Cassia? Because again, topping the damage boards by a very respectable amount.
Well, I can confirm one of those things is going to happen. Bret Michaels opting for first pick going into game number 3.
Okay. If I were to take a guess, what do we think? Where is Parsley, Snag, and Rosemary and Line? The 2 maps most similar to Tomb are banned out in Volskaya and Shrines.
Correct. And also Volskaya was their winningest map. So a little unfortunate for them. Shrines also banned out. Tomb we already played. Cursed Hollow is their next winningest map along with Towers.
Towers is kind
of the 2, I think they like Towers more. Or I just might be mixing teams up. Hang on.
I would guess Towers. I like Towers a lot. I like the aesthetic of the map. Even I like the green-black aesthetic with the everything happening. I like the map. So.
Ooh, we are in fact going to Cursed Hollow for game number 3. So really playing down the win percentage lines.
Yep, fair enough. I can't.
And I don't like Cursed Hollow personally. As a player, I don't like it. It's too big. I like Cursed Hollow as a spectator because a lot of different comps can play out on this map compared to some of the other maps in the pool.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
But, and this is going to be, I think, the first time I've ever done this, I'm actually going to put us on a little bit of an intermission because it's incredibly hot and I've had 20 ounces of water in this cast and I feel like I'm still dehydrated. So we'll be back in just a little bit, bringing you into game number 3. And we are back. We're still just waiting for our game number 3 to start. But if you haven't been here the whole time, and you don't know how we got here to game number 3, we will go ahead and let you know. Team Happy Cloud had the advantage of the higher seating, so they opted for map pick. They banned out Volsky Foundry. ParsleySnagRosemary&Line banned out Sky Temple. Team Happy Cloud banned out Infernal Shrines. ParsleySnag and Company banned out Alterac Pass. And first game as picked by Team Happy Cloud was on Braxis Holdout, which they lost. They opted for map pick for game number 2 as well, and they took us to Tomb of the Spider Queen, which they also lost. And we find ourselves now on Cursed Hollow for game number 3, chosen by ParsleySnagRosemary&Line, with Team Happy Cloud opting for first pick for the first time in this series.
Good recap.
Why, thank you.
That's basically how we got here, and yeah, we'll have to see. Ektar, over under, Kassia's banned. Yes or no?
I think she will. She's definitely going to get banned or first picked. And I think ParsleySnagRosemary&Line are going to ban Kassia.
I agree with you, actually.
And we have the lobby crash.
No, someone. We have wrong first
for a
pick.
rematch.
Brett Michaels set up the wrong first pick.
Nailed it. Well, we didn't have any hero getting banned out, so we don't have to have any weird special start to this. It's just going to be a complete remake.
Yeah, that is good. Some things would have gotten weird.
Yep.
Crow just went ahead, did the honorable duty, and slammed the Alt F4. You always have that one person that's like, don't want to play this game? Alt F4. Something's wrong in draft, they're the first person, I'm out of here, just Alt F4.
Yep. Oh man, did we queue into Blackheart's Bay again? Alt F4.
Oh, that's my job. I've Alt F4 on Blackheart's Bay. Ugh. Just remove it, please. It's so bad. Don't rework it. Don't whatever. Just get rid of it and don't bring back Haunted Vines, please.
You know, I think, and don't get me wrong, I think that there is something salvageable from Blackheart's Bay, but it's not the map. It's definitely not, it's not the map, but I don't think the mechanic is terrible.
Yeah, it's Hanamura's mechanic.
Yeah, basically.
I want the announcer though. That's a good one. That's the most.
You just want Blackheart.
I just what? I like it.
It's fun to say.
Yeah, and I mean he makes booty jokes. I mean, what more do you need from a pirate? Like, why isn't that there?
Hey, look, Kassia got banned
by the other team, or by the team that went ahead and won with her twice because first pick.
Yeah, in pretty convincing fashion, if I have to say.
Tend to agree, so we will not see Kassia probably for the rest of the series, as both teams are probably just going to ban her.
The Zarya ban is still a surprise to me, though. I want
they win
to know what that is.
For sure, we will have the opportunity. Should any one of the next 3 possible games go in favor of PSR now. I'm curious. Do you think we'll see something like Samuro this series?
I would love to see a Samuro, in particular on this map and as played by Sweet Buns.
No.
That was a really fast Tyrael Falstad pickup.
Is this gonna force a medevac ban? Is this what's gonna have to happen?
Maybe, especially because they already picked up the Deckard, so they can't even just draft Morales. I don't think they would do that.
Yeah.
But that's a really fast Tyrael. I wonder if that's just a mind game.
I bet it could be. So these 2 heroes have unbelievable boss control. That was kind of cool. Swap skins right as it picked. Tyrael has Holy Ground after 13. Falstad has Gust out of after 10. And both of those are unbelievably strong boss control. So what you can do is make like a boss control burn comp, where you take like Greymane, Tyrael's 7 smite talent, that Swift Retribution, and just kind of run to bosses and just burn them down repetitively.
I like the Lost Vikings ban. They've been more popular recently. I don't know if they're winning more than they were before the recent changes. They did get the Morales ban, so respecting the Juice possibility, I think that was a bait. Yeah, that was a bait.
Almost certainly.
Linehouse was very ready with that Ana pick, and I think even he picked it that fast to let them know it was a bait.
The mind games are strong here in this draft, albeit he could have expected it and would have had to swap slowly to the Morales just in case, anticipating the ban. There's a lot of layers to this for sure.
Yeah. And the Mephisto, I like Ana Mephisto, and Mephisto did just get a little bit of a nerf in the most recent patch. I think they nerfed baseline damage on Lightning Nova and another Lightning Nova talent. So he's not as good as he was, but I bet he's still pretty decent.
Yeah, he was pretty strong in the previous patches. I'm kind of surprised at how good he was, but not going to worry about that too much. We have an Illidan, Zeratul, and Li Ming all around this draft. This draft went from kind of interesting to roasty, toasty, spicy really fast.
Yeah, this is 4 Blue Flame Hellions in your mineral line, roasty, toasty. And, Illidan is such an interesting pickup here. They have run it once before, and they lost with it. But looking to make that an even 50-50 here with that Illidan pickup.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it either. Deckard only gets protection with the Pimp Cane late.
Yep.
Tassadar can't do anything besides go Angry Man Archon mode, which objectively will 1v1 the Illidan, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
ETC will have to cover the backline, and Li Ming has nothing to stop it. And Zeratul can't duel out an Illidan either, so, there's not a lot to stop it. But it is Illidan in 2020.
Yep. And we have now spawning on the left-hand side in the blue trunks, Team Happy Cloud, with Brett Michaels playing Zeratul, Delta playing Deckard Cain, Sweet Buns on ETC, Ferret is playing Li Ming, and OJ Juice on Tassadar.
And in the red trunks on the right side of the map, we do have the team up 2-0 trying to punch their ticket to the A finals. It is Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Line. Winterheart playing Mephisto, Professor Bobo on Falstad, Snag on Tyrael, Crow on Illidan, and Linehouse on Ana.
Blizzard, you crazy sons of bitches, you did it. You made OJ Juice want to take Aetherwalk. Or sorry, Ferret take Aetherwalk.
They said we will make you want to pick it, and 6 patches later it happened.
Yep. We do have Sleep Build coming out from Ana, which is really the standard these days. You see some variations, but ever since the repeated nerfs to the Biotic Grenade, you just don't see it all that much anymore. We've got Bribe coming out from Falstad, which is not unexpected on a map of this size. And we've got the Unending Hatred coming out from Illidan. What do you think about that, Ace?
Illidan talent go ding ding. I admittedly have played an extremely low amount of Illidan, and the person who would play Illidan would call this a bad talent. However, when I played against Glaurung 2 years ago, he took Unending Hatred and proceeded to absolutely destroy every member of our team individually and painfully. So my opinions of the talent are very mixed. So, whatever. That's how I feel.
Yeah, we do have the camps getting picked up now. The Bruiser camp getting picked up from THC, and PRSL taking their PSRL taking the siege camp with that Illidan. Not losing out any XP, but the camp clear is going to go a lot faster for the Illidan than for his compatriots on the other side.
Yeah, it sure will. This does seem to be just dedicated camp Illidan to start, which is fair. He is a little bit more of a scaling hero of sorts, so Crow gonna run over to the Bruiser camp and start that up.
Yeah, and Valimar mentioned it in chat. There is not a cleanse. I'm terrified at some point that they're just gonna get judge hunted, and there's really not a whole lot that THC is gonna be able to do about it other than try to power slide for disengage.
Imagine calling Unending bad. Man, I don't play Illidan. I gave preface to it, so you know what? That's okay. We'll get there. Camp actually pushed in, took bottom tower off middle lane for THC.
Yep, sure did. Just barely ended up getting there with the help of that ETC. First objective is going to be coming up, both teams hitting that level 5 mark. We do have Orb on 4, which is pretty much the standard. And Tassadar hitting actually his first Q of the game just there. To be fair, he was on camps for quite a bit.
Yeah, that is a true fact there. Let's see. We have friend or foe, pretty standard Plasma Shield. Plasma Shield might actually help Tassadar trade into Illidan in a true 1v1 scenario, because Plasma Shield is kind of amazing.
It'll help a lot at 10 when you have that automatic build-up of your attack. Big slide coming out into Winterheart, but no damage is there to follow up on it. So he's just kind of able to walk away. And Bobo's in kind of a lonely spot, but there's no enemies there to threaten him, so I guess it's not that bad.
Yep. Zeratul will do well into the Falstad if he can go around and try and make something happen, which is exactly what's going on. Bret Michaels is going to go ahead, kind of harass the backline, and then blink on out of town, but it is a low-leveled Zeratul, so he isn't going to do a whole lot.
Yeah, Professor Bobo is actually kind of low on mana. Doesn't have too much more he can contribute to this teamfight, so he can pick up a glow that it looks like he might be able to be doing right now. He's actually just going back to mid lane, tapping up and coming back. Both teams are just kind of positioning. Neither one has a strong advantage to actually get onto this point. We actually see Falstad going all the way to the top lane to clear that camp out. So really nicely done by the side of Team Happy Cloud to force that engagement. Damage coming out on the Snag, but is able to get away probably. There we go, just barely getting the kill cooldown time. But Bret Michaels does find the Executioner there, and is going to get the first kill of the game, and the first time that they've gotten the first kill in the game.
Yep. They have ETC go ahead and zone out for channel, and they'll go ahead and pick up that first tribute. And yeah, as you mentioned, the first time that they've even had close to an early game advantage, as they've been picked off early pretty much every game so far. So good to see that working out a little better for him.
I will say Professor Bobo getting some good work in the top lane, not in the damage department per se, but look at all that soak that they denied their opponents. Deckard's going to pick up a little bit of it, but nowhere near as much as Bobo was able to pick up in the first place.
Yep. I think I've casted Team Happy Cloud before, because I remember this Zeratul build. Because he goes into that really late game, like, deletion style build, where you can full combo anybody with, like, 4,000 hit points or less and just wipe them off the face of the map. And he starts with that, and then he goes into, like, the cleave talents later on, which feels like a weird choice, but it does seem to work. But I forget what team that did it, so it might not be Bret Michaels.
Alrighty. We do have the second objective spawning in the bottom lane area as well, which means we have it guaranteed in the top lane later. Professor Bobo actually getting a pretty good damage taken from Ferret there. Sweet Buns gets slept upon, but is going to be able to walk away relatively easily. A lot of mini potions in there, but it's a little too dangerous right now to try in and actually drink them.
Dive them. Dive the mini potions. Int for the mini potions. Sweet Buns, speaking of inting, is going to go ahead and try and int to get the interrupt. The Sleep Dart keeps him just out of face melt range. So that'll be an easy second tribute of the game. First for Parsley Snag and Company.
Would you call it an interrupt?
Alright, I'm leaving this cast. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a nice day.
Reasonable. Absolutely reasonable. We do have the Bruiser Camp getting picked up by Deckard Cain and Tassadar once again. It'll be a little bit easier, and actually Tassadar should be taking the damage since he's got that shield. So we wouldn't need to put out as much healing, but, not that big of a deal.
Alright, we do have the Judgment Hunt combination coming
with
out.
Hinterland Blast and the, oh god, I forget what, Consume Souls, that's what it is.
With Nano on top of it all, so you press R on a hero, and then the other two heroes press R, and then they all disappear, or that one hero disappears, and you hope that works out.
I'm waiting for the, 4,000 IQ Zeratul play of stand in between the hunt target and them and just put down the Void Prison so people just charge into the Void and just stick there.
I like that. I also like the idea of a Lornado being used directly on top of the hero that's Dove, which was the intent there. Tornado came out just a little bit late, though, and Li Ming is the first one to go down. However, Crow is in a really bad spot. Sweet Buns goes ahead and moshes. Is going to be taken out as a counter, though. 2 kills for Parsley, Snag, and company. Team Happy Cloud with 1, and they're probably going to have to pull back off of this.
Yeah, there's really not a way that they can try to contest on this. Brett Michaels just going in there for a nice potion healing, but they have to still try not to get engagement behind. He's actually still trying to provide the interrupts here. He's going to find some damage on the Lighthouse, or Linehouse. Linehouse actually gets taken out by Brett Michaels. Really nicely done by that Zero tool there, but Delta is going to need to find a tap, or he is not going to be able to contribute to this team fight any longer. And even OJ is going to need to find at least some auto attacks so he can get that regen, but Brett Michaels is just haranguing the backline right now. And that Bruiser camp that they picked up got the entirety of the mid fort, so things are starting to go in favor of THC a little bit, but it's 60 seconds or so until they've got the full combo for PSRL, and they didn't even get it completely correct that last time, so it's still really frightening.
Yeah, that is very true. Farah is going to be in... they're not going to have a fun time this entire game with being dove on repetitively, so we'll have to see...
So this is a game that the Zarya ban makes sense.
Yeah. Yes, it does. I definitely agree. Zarya very good against the dive.
We do have the boss coming out from Team Happy Cloud, and with the timing, they are going to have to 100% give up the objective, and I think that's fine. It will almost certainly be spawning in a more advantageous position for them going into that next one, so really well done by them. Their opponents are actually taking their own boss as well, and if they identify this as a possibility, they could actually get there in time.
Yeah, but remember, there is Gust available. No Gust. We have Hinterland. I forgot. Oh my God. They don't have Gust available this game. Team Happy Cloud has a real opportunity.
There's a mosh pit available now.
And there it goes. It goes out while the other 3 are in a void. The remaining 2, the dive pair, are taken out almost immediately. Linehouse, not long for this world either, as Tassadar finishes off the kill. 2 bosses and a curse and level 1 level advantage for Team Happy Cloud. They are in control of this game.
Yeah, and that's got to be a great feeling. When you lose the first 2 games, getting a couple of team fights like that really does a lot to lift your spirits going for the rest of the series. And look how much XP was in that mid lane. My God, Tassadar.
Gobble, gobble, gobble. Gonna pick him up a full level advantage and then some.
And that boss is completely healthy still.
Yeah, that's very scary for ParsleySnagRosemary&Line. This could easily get out of hand. This feels very similar to what happened to us. We lost 5 forts on the first curse, and Parsley Snag already down 3 of them. Let's see how many more go down. Coming up as Mephisto gets hit by the boss roots, is going to be hit by the Lornado as well. Dive goes out onto our 275 Delta, but Winterheart should be the first going down here. No.
Is actually Dahaka with the power of the nano-boosted Mephisto. Ferret is still very low and getting chased down. Orange Juice is going to try and find a kill. They did finally get the counter kill, I believe, onto Ana. They get another kill onto Mephisto, but that's a huge hinterland is going to secure a kill. Crow is fighting for his life with that baseline lifesteal from that trait, and he is going to find the kill. Sweet Buns might be able to make it out of there, although it looks like he's going to be trying chased down by Falstad. No, they did lose 5 buildings. Actually, technically 4 because the mid fort was already down.
Yeah.
But still, very strong position right now for Team Happy Cloud. I can't imagine that they're too upset with that trade, even that they lost it in the end.
Yeah, that was a 4-man Hinterland blast from Professor Boba. That did some serious shock and all damage, and
oh, referencing the old name of the ability, I like it.
That is in fact what I did there. Thank you for noticing, Ektar. But that is still an amazing position for Team Happy Cloud to be in. They have full map control. They have no level 16 advantage, but they have to be pretty happy overall with where things are, as you said.
Yeah, and with the 13 and now 16 talents coming up, they've got a lot more defensive abilities now. They've got the Illusionist, so they got that shield on teleport, which they can do ahead of time and then take a whole bunch of damage, which resets the cooldown and give them another shield. They've got the Pimp Cane, which can do a little bit of disruption. You know what I actually wouldn't have hated to see here, though? the Deckard Cain one that gives him additional trait power if he's closer to a bunch of heroes.
Safety in numbers?
Safety in numbers, that's the one. Sweetbun's getting engaged upon a little bit. Illidan is looking to find something, but all they're finding at the moment is just a little bit of wave clear and some damage.
Yeah, health bars look pretty good here. 14 they want their mid keep. They want to finish this up. Dive goes on to Delta. Void incredibly hits a couple of members from both sides now. Delta walks away. Zoning Mosh from Sweet Buns is going to allow for a 1-to-1 trade. Snag the lowest on the team after Bobo goes down, and that is a positive trade with the combo going down for Team Happy Cloud, and they're going to go ahead and continue pressuring this mid keep.
I didn't think it was actually going to happen, but Zeratul is actually doing it. He is disengage voiding the initial combos, and I think it's working out really well for them because it's just giving them time. Time is the worst thing for a blow-up comp to give their opponents, and Void means you don't have a choice.
Yep, it is a full time stop for 5 seconds, and that is a lot of time to recombobulate the team and figure out what's going to happen. I am kind of surprised, as Arrow mentions, the shield for Leeming is on 16.
Oh, that's correct. Thank you.
Yeah, and
also surprised not to see that, though they have been going on to Deckard Cain the last couple of times.
Yeah, but they can still identify that weakness, as now the Roderick staff kind of helps, and he has baseline 10 armor, and how much more health does Deckard have? 1,100 more health than a Li Ming. Yes. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of health. I'm genuinely surprised.
What I'm surprised about here is the Thermal Lance pickup again. We got the combo coming out onto Brett Michael this time, so he doesn't have the Void available just yet. It blinks out, but doesn't blink out quite far enough. Boss is still very low. Ferret is looking to find some damage onto Bobo, but they're going to be the next taken down, and this is looking to be a successful boss steal from the side of ParsleySnagRosemary&Line.
Yeah, they're committing more and more ults into this. OJ Juice goes in to try and get the one. Nice sleep dart from
They get the boss.
Oh my god.
They stole back their own boss.
Oh my gosh, they stole the steal. Nice face melt and just got on it in time. The face melt loudspeakers works in their favor, and that is such a big play there by Sweet Buns.
Yeah, it will allow the opportunity for their opponents to get their own boss, and it's looking like what they're maybe thinking about doing next. They're able to get to 2, but 2 doesn't do anything on this map, and Illidan is already clearing on the boss, so it shouldn't do too much to the core, but I mean, they got a nice team fight, but they're just having to mop up the rest of the map now, and that is the power that losing that many buildings that early will get you.
Yeah, I mean, it makes all your mistakes as Team Happy Cloud less impactful because you spend time cleaning up instead of, gaining advantage. Nobody saw that. And, yeah, now they just get to, they'll even get to 20 first, not by any significant margin, but they do get level 20 at the same time as Parsley, Snag, and groups. So, yeah, it's a big advantage. They've still got 6 forts up to half. Fort. If I'm gonna say half, I better not count that bottom fort for Team Happy Cloud. I'll be fair. 6-1.
Yeah, but this is not an objective that Parsley Snag need to fight over. We do have the level 20s from both sides. We'll go ahead and look at those for just a second. Ooh, Talrash's Elements. And that's the tour bus. That is not death metal. That is putting a lot of eggs into that basket. We've got the Nano Infusion, the improved Tormented Souls, Consumed by Hatred. A lot of improved ults, actually, with the Hunt and the Hydraulic Blast getting their upgrades as well, and then the Iron Skin equivalent, or Hardened Shield equivalent for Tyrael. I kept wanting to say Tychus, but I knew that wasn't it.
Yeah, it's close. Yeah, that Nowhere to Hide makes Illidan a true global, so he's going to just go ahead and walk right down and clean up that bottom fort through the whole time. You know what I want to see, Ektar? The way they've been playing this? I want to see Sweet Buns mosh away from the team and slide into the hunt target. I want to see it happen.
Yeah, they're looking to try and get Snag, and Brett Michaels is chasing him down in a major way. He drops the Void as a self CC Brett Michaels is able to walk on out of there, and the hunt had landed, which is weird, but is trading out one ult for another.
And Consumed Souls went down too,
That's true.
so that's actually an advantageous trade in terms of ult number. Wow, Snag gets taken out immediately in that fight. Zeratul brought him solo.
That's a huge tour bus hitting out onto 3.
That's
and
game.
That has got to be game going over in favor of Team Happy Cloud. Winterheart is got a Nano Infusion and a Dream, but I don't know if he can dream quite big enough.
Don't let your dreams be memes. Instead, let it be your own death. And with the best play we've seen this series from them, Team Happy Cloud has brought this back. It is now 2-1.
I like that Ferret is making sure that they get this last keep down as well, to make sure they get all the buildings for the extra XP.
Accurate. But man, what a game that was. I want to commendate Brett Michaels, though, for harassing the Tyrael with multiple... he went into the auto attack talents, 13, 16, and then Shadow Mending after 20. So he had an actually ridiculous amount of self-healing. And he just kind of stuck to him with the Vorpal Blade and harangued him down for about 75% of his health, and that enabled the Tyrael
and forced him to pop the Defense of the Angels, so he didn't even have his armor cooldown after he judged.
Yeah, I mean, that was such a big play that forced out the cooldowns, forced out the engage opportunity, and then they just won the fight from there because Tyrael blew up, the Mosh went off, and Li Ming reset all over the enemy team. That was really, really good play there from Brett Michaels. I was watching him a lot, and he always seemed to have one more blink or one more Vorpal than I would have expected. So, really good Zeratul play there.
Yeah, not a whole lot of extra commentary for me to provide there. You are definitely the Zeratul player.
Yeah, I'm not a good Zeratul player. Every time I see games like that, I'm like, man, I could do so much better. But I played too much wombo combo style, and it just it doesn't work out enough. So, you know, it takes a lot of practice, and then I decided to invest my time into Maya. So, smile.
All right, so we have confirmation from Linehouse they're going into first pick for game number 4. And that's not a huge surprise to me.
No, I'm not surprised slightest.
It brings us back to our question.
Will they ban
Cassia?
Team Happy Cloud. Let's have a sit down for a minute.
Yeah.
Look. Get on close. You need to ban Cassia. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, I was just about to get there, but you beat me to it.
Yeah. I mean, nobody would even accuse you of stream sniping because it's the thing that needs to happen.
Yeah. A strong percentage of the team fights that were won by ParsleySnagRosemary&Line opened with Valkyrie.
Yeah, I mean, the Valkyrie plays were kind of wild. Just the blind Valkyries, not even like, they weren't even Fallout Valkyries, they're just kind of blind Valkyries, and that was really impressive. So, again, the Cassia needs to go. They'll probably ban the Orphea. Parsley Snag, probably going to ban a Zeratul here, and probably a Zarya. That was pristine. Maybe they don't, though. They can beat him a different way. I don't know.
Yeah, and you know what? This is a different map. In that it plays very differently than the previous one. It plays most similarly to Brax's Holdout, actually.
Who picked this map, Hector?
The map was picked by... Oh, yeah. Good call. We don't have to reset the map again. It was picked by Team Happy Cloud, so...
Okay, Brett Michaels. Okay, I caught him.
Brett Michaels. Well done.
So... Okay. Whew. Got it. Did it.
Nailed it.
I want my first pick, and I want the map pick. Seems fair and balanced.
Okay, Veruca Salt.
I don't get that, so...
That is okay. I'm sure someone probably will.
If someone got our 10-year-old Day 9 reference, I'm sure somebody will get that.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see it in chat in the next 40 seconds or so.
Cool. Alright, going for real this time.
We did have this map played in their original series. It was won by Team Happy Cloud, so I can't imagine that they're too upset to be seeing this map again.
To be fair, choices are slim right now. I mean, it's only this BOE and Tower.
That's true. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen BOE yet. Both the teams seem to like it.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there.
In their original series, in Dragon Shadow Draft was Johanna, Junkrat, Leo, Tyrande, and Ragnaros from ParsleySnagRosemary&Line, and Melganis, Malfurion, Alarak, Jaina, and Deathwing for the side of Team Happy Cloud.
Alarak.
Yeah, if I had to guess, that might be a bit of an impact from their missing player right now. Thank you, DB Smiley.
Team Happy.
Oh, and Lulu is disappointed you don't get the reference as well.
Lulu's always disappointed I don't get references. It's understandable.
That's fair. You don't get a lot of references, but you get most of the ones I make.
That's an important part. Also an important part, half the ban phase has gone by and Cassia has not been prejudicially removed by Team Happy Cloud, so...
Definitely an insufficient amount of Amazon prejudice coming up from THC right now. I'd like to see that rectified here, please.
Maybe Pirate... Okay.
There it is. Get the Amazons out of here.
Clap in chat. We've got it. We have a game that is valid on our hands.
We do have Rexar available. He's not the overwhelming presence that he was in the past, but he's still very good in this map.
Yeah, I definitely like him. Instead, we're going into a first pick Ana. That's something. That leaves your team possibly open to be Dove. At the same time,
does.
Healer.
It's an interesting first pickup because I think this is a good map for her just because of the way the objectives are shaped. But yeah, like I said, it does lead to a possibility of the enemy team just diving upon her. And ETC can be a part of that. Deckard, a little bit less so. His follow-up is slow, but it's big.
Yeah, that is it's a good way to describe the Deckard follow-up. It's definitely not the fastest to come out, but it is very impactful. Artanis is going to be picked up by Crow again. He's going to go ahead and reprise the role that was on Braxis, which I think is
Bully.
Like as far as Soul Laners are concerned, the most similar map. So
yes.
I'm going to try and get some stonks up in here with the Protector of Ire. I think it's Protector of Ire, whatever it is.
And they softened the match on Braxis that their opponents didn't go for Rexar then. Maybe figuring they won't go for Rexar now.
Seems reasonable. Uther going to be banned out. That might have been a main tank.
I could see it. I would love a main tank Uther on this map.
Well, you won't anymore, unfortunately. But yes, I tend to agree with you there.
I like the Jim Raynor pick. He is good at poking in the 4-man, and his wave clear is pretty alright. And respect banning the Zera tool. Not a huge surprise there.
Understandable. Have a nice game. That's they're like, I mean, what do you ban off of Team Happy Cloud's draft so far? They haven't shown anything besides standard. They're not doing something wild here.
Yeah. And
so what else are you going to ban? Just ban the most problematic thing. So yeah, completely reasonable ban here. Junkrat. Oh, you did mention that before.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have Jaina picked up as well.
So this is the first time that Parsley Snag and company have not opted to ban out the Zarya, I think. Yeah. They could still go for the Zarya pick, and I would... If they did, last pick the Zarya and show us why they were banned in the first 3 games, I would not be upset.
Yeah, especially since they don't have a true soul laner. That would be even more impressive.
Yeah.
Alright, Joe, Hana, and Hanzo.
Last time it was the Thrall against Artanis, and it went, I don't know, like 40-60 Artanis favored. Ooh,
yeah.
Imperi lowered. I love Imperius recently. He's so strong. And it just...
I think he upgraded the vacuum on his stick, that's why he's better.
He's got an incredible stick vacuum, which is a lot more CC than most of the other solo lane types.
That is very true. He does have some of the hardest CC of a solo laner. Does have some of the weakest wave clear, but
True.
These are the trade-offs you make when you create your composition. Why is Greymane just? They don't like Greymane. I don't like Greymane, but I'm bad at Greymane. So
I mean, ParsleySnag have played Greymane 5 times. I don't think that Team Happy Cloud favor Greymane almost at all.
it's when Whitemane gets a little older.
Crow, what are you doing? You're supposed to be in this match right now that's starting.
He has negative 34 seconds. He's fine.
That's fine, I guess. Alright, spawning on the left-hand side in the blue trunks. They brought back game number 3 to bring us to this game number 4. Team Happy Cloud with Brett Michaels playing the Imperial Lord. Sweet Buns is playing ETC. Ferret is playing the Jaina. We've got a pause coming out from Crow.
Don't tell me he paused to type in chat, Ektar.
I don't believe that's the case, but you know, we'll find out.
Winterheart's AFK, and no, that's he's AFK.
Alrighty, we did have as well Delta playing the Deckard Cain and Orange Juice, OJ Juice playing the Junkrat.
All right, on the right side of the map in the red trunks, we have ParsleySnagRosemary&Line looking Dragonshire. We had Winterheart reported for being AFK on Hanzo, Linehouse on Ana, Crow playing the Artanis again, Johanna being played by Snag, and Professor Bobo playing Raynor.
Alright, so talent's not yet being chosen on the side of the red team. There we go. We have W build Hanzo, E build Ana, and to be determined from the rest. On the other side, we do have Globe Quest. Kill out onto Professor Bobo at the 19-second mark. Very quick pickup there.
Wow, I didn't even see that. I was looking at the bottom lane for that, and all of a sudden there's somebody ganked in the top lane. R.I.P. Boba, flawless game. 0 seconds to 19 seconds. The dream is dead.
Yeah, I was looking at talents, and suddenly Jaina was getting procs of her baseline quest. And I'm like, where the hell is that coming from?
You totally said it after the Globe Quest. It's right next to it, and I'm like, oh, that's really funny.
Yeah.
Winterheart's gonna go ahead and try and snipe a well.
Yeah, it looks like he is going to success a well because Brett Michaels, I don't think, gets there quick enough. Even if he gets there, he can't actually do anything enough, is the thing. Winterheart has Shimada privilege available, so even if he gets brought down really low, that's a nice early game advantage going over in favor of ParsleySnagRosemary&Line. I think that more than offsets the kill that they gave over.
Yeah, I think, is that what they were trying to do? Were they trying to do that kind of cheeky thing? That's interesting, but nonetheless, it is what's happened. Whatever your feelings are about well sniping, it may be. Looks like Parsley Snag and company are going to try and fight for their siege camp, and then just let Sweet Buns walk into point, face melt them away, learning nothing from the boss last game, and they got invaded. So that happened.
And not a lot of XP is going to be lost for Crow making that rotation. Looked like maybe 2 or 3 minions, but it is very fast point control going over in favor of Team Happy Cloud, but nothing should come of that, right? God, you would think so, but that is going to be a very fast first objective going over in favor of Team Happy Cloud as it marches on towards the top lane.
Parsley Snag and company have, you know, I don't want to call out too hard, but this has not been the cleanest play so far this game. That was
what?
What was that? Crow dodged the Dragon Knight's kick with the Templar's dash, blade dash, and it lasted long enough where he got kicked backwards. That was some interaction.
Yeah, I have not seen that one before. But that's going to be most of the front wall going down in the top lane, so gonna kick Professor Bobo away, and they're gonna try and even up the score on the wells. I don't know if they do get it. So a nice little early game going over in favor of Team Happy Cloud, but you know, it's 3 minutes into the game. It's still a very even game.
There are comeback mechanics that will provide the opportunity, but ParsleySnagRosemary&Line do have to clean up their play. They've been invaded. given away a kill and given up the Dragon Knight all in the first 2 minutes of the game. So Team Happy Cloud looks to be riding the momentum strong from last game, and we'll have to see how far that it can take them.
Yeah, they are going out to the bottom camp, and there's not a fast enough rotation from ParsleySnag to actually make this into a team fight, so they're just going to be able to go ahead and take that. Their opponents did get their own Bruiser camp, however, so relatively even, but it does leave the opportunity for Team Happy Cloud to get their own Bruiser later.
Yep, and that'll give them top lane pressure that is so good on this map. Junkrat going to be the one elected with Bret Michaels to go and deal with that, while the teams scuffle 4v3 down in the bottom lane. Sweet Buns actually takes a bunch of damage. Anti-nade doesn't hit him. Power slide not enough to get out of the reach of Johanna, and that will be an important counter kill, I would say, for Parsley Company.
Yeah. There was a lot of damage as the Soul Laners were dueling it out in the jungle area, but neither one is going to go down from that, although we did have Crow having to go all the way back to top keep to get that tap.
Yep, that is the life of the Soul Laners.
In
Both
this
teams,
particular matchup, yeah.
Yeah, this particular matchup, it just became more annoying for both of them. So, what an inconvenient life. Top Bruiser camp is going to be picked up for Team Happy Cloud, so they will have that pushing during at least the start of this button phase, which, again, lasts anywhere between 20 seconds and 10 minutes.
Yeah, I would expect it to be closer to at least a few minutes this time.
Yeah, I would say this one could last quite a reasonable amount of time, just judging by what the teams are kind of posturing to do right now. So, looking to get level 10s before anything too major happens, it seems.
Yeah, and we do have Bret Michaels and Crow doing it on the top lane, which in the very long term will eventually favor Artanis, because he will stack forever, but in the short term, the level 4 with the globes always staying on while you're doing hero damage is going to make it really hard for Crow to actually trade into Bret Michaels.
Yeah, it requires Professor Bobo to rotate up to make anything happen. So that'll allow a 4v3 advantage here in the bottom lane. Snag, I don't think has a D-shield. I think nope, he does have it. Thought I saw it just used, but
you saw it used just now, and they're not going to have it for the next time that Sweet Buns is going to look for a slide. But they're getting forced back just from a little bit of that Hanzo poke damage.
Yep, and the Bruiser camp pushed all the way up towards the fort. Didn't actually get anything major, but it did allow Bret Michaels to gain lane control back at least a little bit, and be able to pick up a little bit of mid soak.
Artanis is actually going into the Purifier Beam to help him trade into the Bret Michaels in the top lane. It's getting popped immediately. Bret Michaels is going to have to walk away from that, which is going to allow Crow to hold position. And we did have, because they have the 10s, they are able to take bottom point for, I think, the first time this game.
I think you're right there, Ektar. I'll say that a couple more times just to make you feel good.
You know me so well.
Oh, yeah. Sweet Bun's going to go ahead, get the slide on Johanna. That will force the D-shield out. Imperius going ahead and defending the middle, so they don't have too much of an issue. And Team Happy Cloud retakes bottom button, but does miss up on 3 minions of soak in the top lane for their arrangement. Snag, though, a lot of trouble.
Yeah, push back into that Blizzard, takes a ton of damage. The D-shield is likely going to be able to get her out of there. Crow has rotated all the way into the mountain lane to make this into a 5 versus 4, but not finding a swap on anyone with that Blade Dash. Ferret actually taking quite a bit of damage, or dealing quite a bit of damage. The Hanzo arrow interrupting on the Junkrat Riptire is huge brain play. And with ETC rotating towards mid, that is going to be bottom turned back over in favor of ParsleySnagRosemary&Line.
Yep, it is extending out to the several minutes once anticipated, but Professor Bobo gets picked out on the Gem Rainer by just Bret Michaels and Sweet Bun, so I think that's just a ton of damage by Bret Michaels. Is going to have to use the Angelic Armaments to try and escape. Mosh zones out a couple members of the team while the Angelic Armaments just rips apart Anna's health bar, and that's 2 kills and full temple control over for Team Happy Cloud, in a great position to take this next Dragon Knight.
Yeah, and you know what? Sweet Buns was low enough in mana that he would have to have had to back out unless he could hop into the DK. So getting that is just a really nice timing for them. Pushing through the mid lane, trying to make sure that they can get an advantage going into these later parts of the game. The kick goes out onto Professor Bobo, who is likely their best DK clear, even not going into some of the single point damage talents that he could. Gonna kick him out of here again, and it looks like mid fort is maybe gonna get defended. The DK can still put out quite a bit of damage if he focus fires. There comes the focus, and that is going to be the mid fort falling.
Yep, and that's a big advantage over here. That Dragon Knight punt actually puts him in a kind of awkward spot into the teeth of the DPS of ParsleySnagRosemary&Line, and that's going to chunk out the rest of the Dragon Knight. Just 2% remaining on it. Is probably just going to breathe some curry breath all over the tower. A wave, use it for wave clear, generate a little more health and mana in the ETC.
Forces out the Joe D shield, which is a bigger deal than it has ever been.
Yep, and that... Oh! Missed the opportunity. Now the Hanzo air, as the counter engage goes out, Blessed Shield as well is going to escape with the power of the potion from our 275 Delta. Nice job there. And, yeah, that was a lot of attempts to go into one little pick, but nothing comes of it.
Nano boost out onto Johanna. What do you think about that?
Misclick.
Alrighty.
I didn't see when it came out, so I'm going to call it a misclick.
I think it's good in some situations. I don't know if it was the right one there, so I would also guess that it's a misclick, but, I mean, giving your tank extra cooldowns is never really a bad thing.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but is trait a basic ability?
No, I don't believe so, but I was wondering the same thing, actually.
Do you get more D shields with Nano? If so, new meta for sure.
So we do have the camp getting taken up in the bottom lane. We've got a rotation from Brett Michaels as well, so it is 5 people in the bottom lane. But I don't know if they're going to try and push it with this. Looks like they're thinking about it, but we do have Junkrat booping himself on out of there, and Brett Michaels rotating out as well, so they're definitely trying to just make sure they maintain soak and maybe get some damage into Crow here.
Yeah, Junkrat flinging himself everywhere with full mine build, which is a build that my smooth brain cannot comprehend. Nice Hanzo air from the other side of the map, actually completely peels off everybody from Crow, so good shot there from Winterheart.
Yeah, it's not always just an ability to secure kills, sometimes it's to secure not kills. Big combo coming out onto Sweet Buns, is able to slide on out of there, and you know, the Purified Beam going to get a little bit of fort damage, chase it around a little bit, but is not going to find enough damage. Snag is actually pretty low as well, and I don't think they have D-Shield cooldown. The boop from Junkrat is going to show just how wrinkly his brain can be and gets him on out of there. Linehouse gets brought down very low as well and is going to fall. Winterheart does receive the nano boost, but doesn't have anyone to stand in front to take damage, and yeah, just a nice teamfight advantage going over in favor of Team Happy Cloud. They've really been turning around this series.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you don't have to fight Acacia. I mean, not that that's the only thing by far. I'm not simplifying it. I can make a meme out of a simplified state, but there are plenty of things that are going into this resurgence that Team Happy Cloud is showing. If they continue this way, we're going to be looking at a Game 5 not long from now as they're picking up the third Dragon Knight of the game and marching it for the bot fort that they want so very badly.
Yeah, and you know what? There's actually not a ton of XP advantage going over in favor of Team Happy Cloud. It is not going to take long for ParsleySnagRosemary&Line to hit 16, basically by the time I finish this sentence. Thank you very much, game. And so they're actually still relatively even in team fights. It's just that catapults are forming. Big slide coming out onto Johanna. He's going to be able to pop the D-Shield, and the Lornado doesn't actually end up hitting out onto anyone. The Hanzo arrow hits out onto 4 in a big way. Nano Boost coming out as well to do the additional damage with Jim Raynor. Is going... Actually, they're going to lose a kill out onto the Artanis first, but they find the counter kill onto Imperius. And, yeah, just a 1-for-1. I definitely don't think that Jim Raynor is the one you want nano boosting, though.
No, that's a tough one. Is this like the Highlander nano boost, where you have to nano everybody? Oh my god, look at all those rubies. Where you have to nano everybody on the team once this game? Because I know you've done that sometimes.
I have, in fact, done that. A big Lornado coming out to peel the location for Sweet Buns to path out of there safely. Really nice peeling coming out from Delta there. And you know what? 1-for-1s when you're even on level has to favor the team that's already ahead.
That is correct. That is with extenuating circumstances, but 4 ults were used on both sides. Yeah, that
similar ult usage, similar kills, but one team has 2 buildings advantage, so it has to go in their favor, I feel.
Yep. I want to point out, you mentioned the second Lornado was really good. The first one was just as good as it came right as the arrow was coming through, and it was pushing towards Team Happy Cloud. It was kind of a defensive style of Lornado, and it was able to prevent the full engagement after the good Hanzo arrow. Speaking of good Hanzo arrow, he does land on Sweet Buns and Ferret, and Ferret gets put down very low, but does survive for now.
Yeah, and they're going to get the root out to Johanna, who's not able to de-shield themselves out of there. Brett Michaels in a really weird spot. Does get swapped into maybe a safer place, because they're able to more easily walk towards their fort. Missing out with a couple of those swords onto Crow. And Sweet Buns is looking for a slide. I don't think he has it off cooldown. Both teams pushing a lot of R buttons, but that camp in the top lane is going to make another fort advantage for Team Happy Cloud. Even though no kills were given away.
Yeah, they continue to build macro advantages because they've been ahead previously. So that's it's working out really well for them. They continue to, even if they're not quite confirming the kills, it's, again, just getting them slightly more and more ahead. 3rd bottom bruiser camp picked up for Team Happy Cloud this game. They've got both buttons. They've got 1 button. They might have 2 buttons soon, trademark. Jaina also keeping an eye on that frostbite.
The timing on that from Brett Michaels. As soon as Johanna would finish Heart Thing, and he didn't have vision of that. That just happened to work out really well. Crow in a rough spot, surrounded by enemies. Big arrow coming out, peeling. Gonna try and find the damage into OJ Juice, who's following the Lornado to disengage. Sweet Buns is very low. I think he got his slide interrupted by Condemn. Is able to walk out through a forest of rubies, and a kill goes out from OJ Juice out into Ana. Winterheart trying to disengage. Brett Michaels trying to find the damage, and at the same time they're getting the DK again.
4th DK picked up for Team Happy Cloud. Up 2 kills this time. This is the one that's going to be very important. Brett Michaels might rotate onto Winterheart.
OJ Juice.
Oh my gosh. Full mind build. He's going completely crazy. DK punches over a sidewall. Winterheart takes a trillion damage. Actually dies to the 2nd tick of that. He lived with 1 HP for a short time and then died to the 2nd tick of Flame Breath.
There's a lot of pings coming up. I think Team Happy Cloud are looking to go core here.
I think they're looking for Game 5 as well. That is a nice defense right there, though. Those stuns completely zoned out that entire area.
That is such a long stun. Ferret taking quite a bit of damage, but the fully grown potions just doing a lot to keep him topped off. Core is falling fast. DK is still alive. Artanis Laser doing a lot to try and mitigate that, but Core is just going down too fast, and that is going to be game number 4 going over to Team Happy Cloud, and we have ourselves a game number 5 and a potential reverse sweep.
Oh, we have all the things. We have the caster and viewer optimal game 5 maximum number of games as we often get here. We've had a lot of game 3s and game 5s this season. That we've personally casted.
And I think anyone that's not a member of ParsleySnagRosemary&Line are happy we're going to a Game 5.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. That is a... Whew. This has been a real good series. I think just the whole arc of it all. If you say, good job, NGS writers, you're doing well.
Big props to the writing staff. Unironically, my favorite content that NGS produces other than literally the league itself.
Yeah, the games and the stuff. But as far as optional content, yeah, good stuff. But they've done a good job writing the script for this one. Wasn't supposed to leak that, but that's okay.
Oh, man.
Can't believe it. But, I want to give the difference maker, and it's hard to... It's rare to say it, but I want to give that one to Lornado. And honorary mention to Mind Build Junkrat.
Yeah.
That was real solid play.
I'm not going to lie, I can't remember very much of what OJ Juice had done in the previous 3 games, but man, was I aware of his presence in this one.
Yeah, that was fun to watch Junkrat just flying around wherever the... I mean, he had the cooldown on self-hit, so he had improved mobility. less of that poke damage, but more position and utility, and that's really cool. Not a fan of Junkrat all the time. Kind of tough to play against. I don't know, weird character that I'm not a fan of. But you know what? That was good.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those heroes that you can kind of disregard if he just gets picked in a Storm League game or whatever. But if you find a Junkrat player, that's one of those terrifying heroes that just makes it feel like you can't do anything.
And it doesn't feel like Junkrat should be able to be like that powerful or that controlling. I mean, to the tier of like a Zeratul, some of the real scary solo carry style heroes.
Yeah,
Not necessarily solo carries, but the scary ones.
Yeah, like Alarak.
Hmm.
He's the one that always comes to mind for me because he literally puts you into a place for him to combo you.
Yeah. But yeah, Junkrat always feels like if you find the good Junkrat player, all of a sudden it's real scary.
All right, we have confirmation from Linehouse that they are going to be going for first pick again. And, I cannot blame them for that. First pick has been so strong this whole season. Most teams seem to prefer having the first map pick, or the first hero pick over the map pick, but there's a couple there's, 3 maps left? No, there's two maps left. We have Towers of Doom, and I have to tab out to actually...
BOE.
Battlefield of Eternity.
Yep.
Both teams like that map, but I like Towers.
Yeah, I do too.
So, I see Towers is being requested in chat as well, so I'm hoping that we get that one, but we will find out in just a second. For the time being, I'm going to put us on another quick intermission because I've now consumed about 30 ounces of water, and I need to go deal with that. So, we'll be back in just a minute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you wanted it, you got it. Game number 5 on Towers of Doom. I'm excited, Ace.
I'm excited. We finally got Towers of Doom. Ironically, the map that the teams have played the most combined, BOE, not going to be picked this entire set.
Neither team wants to give their opponents the satisfaction of having a map they're that comfortable on.
There's something to be said about that, so... great series, you can say, after you've won the last 2, and that for sure, is definitely like a, I sure wish we were done a game or 2 ago. If I can kind of maybe project a little bit onto that.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to go up 2-0 in a best of 5 and then have it come back to even, but you know what? Viewership. People like to see it.
Yeah, the storyline is there. It's good for the viewers. We get more watch time on the channel, so helping them act our metrics. Definitely the most important thing.
Yeah, because I stream, guys.
Yeah, yeah, we're almost partner, right?
Yeah, no, not even a little bit. But that's okay. We're not looking to be partners. Affiliates is just where we want to be. I had a train of thought and lost it. Anywho, because we are now going to game number 5, it means I will not be making the NGS meeting. So I'm sorry about that, Aura. You'll have to fill in for me tonight.
She's been in chat the whole time.
She has. She's wanted the best of the game 5 as well. And you know what? Just for you, Aura, we're gonna get into this draft now. Game number 5 on Towers of Doom. The immediate ban strategy mix-up with the Malthael ban, which you'd love to see it on this map.
Do we get the game 5 Zarya? Because I expect the next ban to be Zool.
There's a lot of meta questions you have to ask for this map. Do you ban all the double soakers and play a weird game, or do you leave up all the double soakers? They've at least gotten one thing right, and that is banning Cassia the last 3 games, and it's worked out well for them in 2.
Yeah, and the third one hasn't happened yet, so we'll see if that continues to be the case. Wasn't it Crow on Malthael earlier, so he has opted for not this hero?
I mean, it does leave him the opportunity of picking Zool first, if that's available.
Right. Oh, they do have first pick. That is right. This is
the Abathur, which I don't quite understand, but I do see that Abathur is played on this map in high-level games.
Yes.
So,
Zool is available.
Zool is available. Leo is also available, so I would not be surprised if those were both picked in the first round here.
It's possible. It wasn't an instant lock, so there's some debate going on. How will they approach this? Do they take the Zool?
Alternatively, they just want to use their time to plan out the rest of their draft, and they're for sure going to pick whoever they end up picking here. His name is Deckard Cain, and he's worth a first pick, and we've seen that twice this series already? Maybe 3 now?
Yeah, Team Happy Cloud's been putting a lot of emphasis on Deckard in their draft, so Linehouse just going to go ahead and gobble away that hero, and that works as a pick ban, and I like it. I think I like it a lot.
But I would like a Zool now, please. Sweetbug's going into that Garrosh, which I like, and we do see the Game 5 Zarya,
It's the speed barrier. The Garrosh combo. It's scary. It's a dog. The dog's even excited for the Game 5 Zarya.
Yeah, man.
Very excited for the Game 5 Zarya. So, we'll have to see what ParsleySnagRosemary&Line can do. Now that they haven't banned it out, they do go Tassadar and main tank Uther into this. I can say that I don't know how the Uther Garrosh matchup works.
I would imagine it's not great for Uther because he has not the world's greatest self-sustain. But Deckard can help in that regard. But, like, there's a Zool available. This is Towers. I want to know what these teams are... You know what? Leo got banned. Team Happy Cloud has next pick. I expect a Zool ban here, and you know what that would leave the opportunity for? The Lost Vikings.
That's how meta we're getting into this. Lost Vikings with Garrosh Zarya speed barrier. That couldn't go wrong for anyone on Cursed Hollow. Oh, that almost went wrong for us. That's a 2 seasons ago kind of thing.
Yeah, we do have the Ana getting banned out, which has been the other hero that Delta has been favoring in this series.
Yeah, targeted healer bans could work out for ParsleySnagRosemary&Line, but we'll have to see. You do have the Vala and the Ariel picked up.
Oh my god, I could still see it.
No, you totally can. They've got a full comp, and the Zarya creates the Tass Vala Ariel Trinity of the past. it's a little different because you don't get the lifesteal, but you get a bigger bubble, and you get a little bit.
You got a more threatening hero in Zarya than old Tassadar.
Yeah, and good siege. Zarya, if you take Feel the Heat, is one of the best sieging heroes in the game. It's reset Genji available in case. Do it, Brett Michaels. Do it.
I could also see them just picking up like the Samuro and swapping with Sweet Buns, but
that's a possibility. But whatever it is, I want this to be cool. If they pick up like Dahaka Soul, I'm gonna be so disappointed.
They need something to soak a lot, and they do just go with the Dahaka. It makes sense, and he can go double soak with Race Car, but I wanted it.
Right, I know. Zool made it through.
How did Zool make it through this entire draft? That's the most surprising one to me.
15 times, and he never showed up. Oh my gosh, we were this close to greatness.
I'm still excited for Speed Barrier Garrosh, but there's a big onus on Ferret to put out the sufficient damage to find kills off of the throws.
Yep, that is true. Feel the Heat Zarya can do it. I don't know if this is Feel the Heat Zarya, but
we'll find out sooner rather than later.
Yeah, that is the level 1 talent choice. So exciting, Akhtar. We've got map 5 in a Coastal Finals series. It's been a good one.
It sure is. Looking to complete their reverse sweep are Team Happy Cloud with Brett Michaels playing the Dahaka Sweet Buns on Garrosh. We've got OJ Juice playing Speed Barrier. We've got Delta playing Ariel, and Ferret is playing Vala.
And on the right side of the map, trying to reclaim what they have started from the first 2 games, it is Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Line, with Line on Deckard, Snag on main tank Uther, Bobo on Tassadar, Crow on Sonya, and Winterheart on Genji.
They have actually run Genji before, so it's not completely out of nowhere for them to do this, but it is definitely one of their lesser chosen picks, and we don't even have Race Car from Dahaka, so I don't know what their lane arrangement is going to be looking like.
Race Car on freaking Tomb of the Spider Queen and not this map? Blowing my mind right now. I am, again, too smooth of a brain to understand this. Nice whip from Del. Oh my gosh. Oh, this game's starting out. It is starting out.
Yeah. Sweet Bun's definitely looking to make these engagements happen, and it really is on Sweet Buns to make these engagements happen. Professor Bobo standing still just for a little bit too long is going to be the first kill of this game. Still about 3 times later in the game than in the previous game, but still very fast.
Almost accurate. That was like 55 seconds compared to 19, so yeah, that's very close. Zarya opting for maximum charge at 1, which is neither Feel the Heat nor the grenade quest, which is I just don't see it much, and I don't know how good this talent is. I feel bad just like trying to dismiss it, but it is different.
Yeah, we do have an engagement coming out from Genji into the top lane onto Brett Michaels, but he was able to just barrel Waddle on back. There is a 4-person camp invade coming out from Team Happy Cloud, and that's a lot of buttons being pushed for ParsleySnagRosemary&Line, and I don't think they're going to be actually able to try to contest on this, but they are picking up a lot more mid-soak than their opponents.
Yeah, Dahaka has not been able to do the double soak action currently, as Snag gets thrown into an unfortunate spot. Good body blocking from Sweet Buns is going to try and keep him back. Does allow for a little bit more damage to be dealt. Ooh, and Delta actually gets taken out with a nice side storm and Shock Ray from Tassadar.
Yeah, and Brett Michaels is kind of just being bullied right now with the Sonya and Genji combo. Was forced away from top lane entirely. And, you know, without that race car build, Dahaka is not very quick at rotating between these lanes. He's okay, but definitely not great. And I sort of like that the lane arrangement coming out from ParsleySnagRosemary&Line. Just having the wandering Genji and the top lane Sonya is meaning that they're really not missing much XP, but it also allows them to put pressure in different lanes.
Yeah, was it Control 4 for minion XP right now? It's 4,600, now 5336 to 7,000. That is a stark difference this early into the game, and that's leading to about a half-level advantage for Parsley Snag and group, just because they've soaked better and have the same number of hero kills.
Yeah, we do have the first attempt at an engagement coming out now. Snag is decently low. OJ is nice and healthy still. Sweetbon's healthy as well. Dahaka is making the fast rotation down with that burrow and making this into a much quicker 5 versus 4. Crow is just getting here now. However, it's actually kind of low for Team Happy Cloud. Ferret is in a bit of a rough spot. No one actually finding a quote quite yet, though, although Professor Bobo is very low on both health and mana.
Wow, you called it correctly. It is up to OJ Juice and Ferret to get the to do the follow-up damage onto thrown targets. Ferret was busy, and OJ Juice tracked Professor Bobo through the whole thing, but it wasn't enough to get a kill. So that was a good combo onto a very immobile mage, but it still wasn't enough for a kill.
Yeah, and that'll definitely start to turn over with talents. Like Vala is another one of those heroes that has very powerful talents that they can pick up. Does have the speed barrier coming up. They got the toss on the Snag, but they didn't have the groundbreaker available for the follow-up. Tongue comes out as well. We do have Crow trying to 1v1 Ferret, and it's going very well for Crow, although he does have to get out of there now. Genji with a big deflect, putting out some good damage. But this is just a weird team fight. There's a lot of like 1 versus 1s happening all over the place, and no one has yet died. But there has been a very long level 7 advantage going over in favor of ParsleySnagRosemary&Line.
Yeah, but the Dahaka is able to split out at least a little bit, and with the Zarya grenades, to be able to poke it out for a reasonably long amount of time. There isn't a whole lot of punish to it. Speed barrier on is available and could be used on Sweetbuns. Does get the toss onto Bobo. Nice whip follow-up, but again, the Uther healing with Q and W and the lack of total damage is going to result in Bobo living and OJ Juice being taken out in the mid lane. Oh, counter kill though.
Delta is very low. A very big heal is going to get him relatively healthy again, but I think Winterheart is going to find that kill. They do, and that makes it 3-2 in favor of ParsleySnagRosemary&Line. And this is definitely not something that Team Happy Cloud can try to recontest on. There's an interesting Garrosh build forming.
So we've got Warbreaker, Thirst for Battle, which that is a sustained brawl amount kind of talent. And then Oppressor, which honestly I didn't know was a talent.
Yeah, and the Oriole build is a little bit interesting as well, especially the Majestic Span not going into the Detainment Strike quest, which I think they kind of needed with their ability to get more damage off of the follow-on whips that they've already been getting this game. I think could help them a lot later into the game.
Yeah, I agree with you. The not just the damage, but the fact that they've been stacking the quests or the stacking this so well so far, or rather hitting whips well so far, has been working in their advantage. Brett Michaels is having a hell of a time trying to double soak this, as Crow and Winterheart are making life just awful for him. And that's good play. That was good play from ParsleySnagRosemary&Line. Sweetbuns actually runs under fort with Speed Bearer, unaware of his own power, and takes a little bit of damage from it.
Yeah, and there's just not enough pressure in the bot lane from Team Happy Cloud to make it so that there needs to be a response from ParsleySnagRosemary&Line. It's a very try to kill one hero and make an advantage off of that comp. From Team Happy Cloud, they're not finding the picks, and so they're just not getting all that much right now.
Yep, Genji went and dashed, tried to get the fort, but or get the tower, which was kind of interesting because all of a sudden the entire team showed up. But you know, it's nothing comes up. Level 10s are picked up for Parsley Snag and Group, and almost in time now for Team Happy Cloud.
We've got a classic combo with the D-Shield and Dragon Blade coming out.
It's like the Nano Blade from Overwatch, but more invincibility and less bonus damage.
I mean, just take both.
Big brain. Didn't they change that because Nano Blade was actually kind of ridiculous in Overwatch and Heroes? Forget.
It was a bug where the continual R swipes were being counted as a basic ability, so it was getting extra cooldown reduction when it shouldn't.
Oh, that's what it is. So, okay, because I knew they had some kind of weird interaction with that, but I didn't remember what it was. So
You have a whole team rotation into the top lane coming up from Team Happy Cloud so they can get this camp. Their opponents are looking at bottom fort, and they're definitely going to try and rip down the wall. A lot of damage being put into Brett Michaels, but just a little bit of a misplacement on the force wall means he's able to walk away. Garrosh stays in the mid lane, but the rest of the team Hearth, and they're going to come back. That is the front wall taken down basically for free, but and the camp will get some damage in the top lane. Not that much, but pretty good.
half a tower in one full gate is the amount of damage that it will do, but it is a 5v4 in advantage of Team Happy Cloud, at least for a moment. Whip actually knocks him to safety. Big taunt, though, along with the expulsion zone coming out. Dragon Blade is out, dealing a lot of damage. Ferret gets put into the shield and is okay for now. First kill onto the main tank, Uther. Sweet Buns, though, counter-killed. Ferret very, very low, and the Ariel's out as well, so there are no more heals. Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Line end up 3-1 advantage on this, and go up, take the camp, invade the other camp, and they're looking good.
Yeah, really strong team fight coming up from Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Line. I do not think Team Happy Cloud want to fight on a point. That is just too easy for Tassadar to deal damage in.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Tassadar got low, but was able to sustain just enough with Plasma Shield and Archon. And now that this bottom wall's down and everything's been allowed to push, there is a full keep capture, fort capture taken, so that is 5 shots onto the core of Team Happy Cloud.
Coming out from Bobo there, saving Deckard from the engagement from Sweet Buns. They find a very quick kill on Navala going in behind that fort. Sweet Buns is low, but is likely going to be able to walk out. It has to be particularly careful because they don't actually have that unstoppable that he is probably used to having. Although maybe they play with this talent all the time. What do I know?
That is, factual statement. But it is causing, and there's not a lot of damage here. They do have essentially a hyper carry style Vala here. So they have Vala or they have no damage, and right now their damage just hasn't been enough to finish off any heroes yet. Zarya hasn't even gotten her max energy quest complete yet, although she will get it right here.
Yeah, and again, Brett Michaels is just having a hard time soaking. A decent combo coming out onto Snag, but it's not enough to find a kill, even with the double Rain of Vengeance getting popped there. And, I mean, what do they have now? They have a Garrosh engage and try to kill a target, but when that doesn't work, that's like their whole strategy, and it just kind of hasn't panned out as well as they wanted it to so far.
Yeah, and Bobo's holding this wall cooldown, not to use offensively, but use it defensively. Every time Garrosh throws, he gets locked into an animation for at least a decent amount of time during the throwing. And during that time, the wall is being used to split Garrosh from the follow-up, or the team from the initial of the thrown target. So that's being used to save a lot of damage, and it's working out very, very well for Bobo and team.
Yeah, and Haka was so far behind in rotations that the mid fort was already brought down by about 80%. It's going to be relatively easy for them to rotate down on that and take it at a later point. And it feels like things are just slowly slipping out of THC's favor on this map.
Yeah, I mean, the lack of double soak to Haka is putting them severely behind in minion activity, down by over 4,000 right now. The Uther armor plus Deckard plus Tassadar walls are keeping the team available from the essentially one-trick engages are. There goes the throw onto Uther, but again, you see the task wall come out. Linehouse drops the stay a while and listen, and everybody's in the death zone, so it's fine. But yeah, this isn't working for THC on any front, and that doesn't feel like it's going to change anytime soon.
Yeah, they are soaking just a little bit better at the moment because Dahaka is soaking and their opponents took a camp, but taking camps is really good. It's one of the ways that you win the game, and Brett Michaels gets engaged upon by Winterheart and Crow. It's been one of the stories of this game is the 2v1 that Brett Michaels has been taking this whole game, and it's continued to go well for Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Line. THC are close to taking bottom fort back, but they're just as close to losing mid fort. Another engagement coming out onto Snag, but it does some good damage. The whip was really nice, But there is the heal is going to keep
Oh
Snag
my God, he's
nice
full.
and topped off. He is full on health again.
He was at 10%, 10-15%, and 3 seconds later he was full.
That might have been a benediction heal. I don't know. Because Decker doesn't
It was
have
not.
that kind of throughput. Because I don't think I can walk through a bunch of rubies.
There's a set of rubies in there that ended up working in their favor.
All right.
Triple altar phase now here though, and this is the one that's really going to change the game one way or the other. Team Happy Cloud cannot let their core go down to 8 health here, so they're going to use Bret Michaels to burrow in. Nice hit onto the Uther. Is going to be taken out. That is a critical first kill.
And he didn't have the opportunity to pop D-Shield, it looks like, either. So the Dragon Blade comes out, does a lot of damage, and helps to secure that kill out onto Vala, surviving with single-digit hit points, and immediately dies to Dark Swarm. Sweet Buns is able to walk on out of there. Both teams should have taps available. Professor Bobo has a lot of damage potential and starts putting it into Sweet Buns. They find the kill out onto Bret Michaels. And OJ Juice is going to be able to interrupt for a while, but I think this has to go in favor of ParsleySnagRosemary&Line, and it sure does. Bringing them down to, like you said, 8 core shots to 29.
Yep, someone in chat, though, was saying this is the one where one team goes ahead 30 core shots and then loses 1-0. So the script writers aren't done yet. They have more in store for us through this set. So this is going to still be a recoverable position, but it becomes increasingly difficult for Team Happy Cloud.
Yeah, the margins of error become smaller and smaller as time goes on. And the ability to make errors, in a way, goes up as time goes on because those death timers just keep getting longer. So it's harder and harder for THC to make a mistake that is recoverable.
Yep, and they don't have a lot of mistakes left to make before they're out of this series. Nice interrupt from the Hammer of Justice onto the Sweet Buns Earthbreaker combo, and
if these sappers are able to crash, that should be the fort going down, but THC are able to defend far enough out. So looking for an engage onto Lionhouse this time, but the D-Shield is going to see him getting out just fine. And the Stay a While is going to neuter the follow-up as well. Professor Bobo popping the Archon for the turnaround. Sweet Buns is very low. We have Genji popping ult. Is spreading a lot of damage around. Hasn't found a kill yet. Big deflect, actually. Bret Michaels is very low as well. This is a 5 versus 4 until Sonya gets here, which will happen in just a moment. And, Sonya going and popping the Wrath is going to find that kill out onto Sweet Buns, making it a 1-0 so far, but they're looking to find more. And they're going to find
Delta.
it.
After that, Bret Michaels comes in and gets rooted by Deckard Cain. No, does have another burrow available. And
that is the
with
first
top
and also going to be the second turn-in, and that is going to be game number 5 and the series, destroying the hope of a reverse sweep for Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Lion.
Well played. Whew.
That was a fun series.
That sure was. That last game was a real jolt from the last two we saw, though. Unfortunately, for Team Happy Cloud, the combo just wasn't there. The counter comp of Tassadar and Uther especially really put in the work to save any thrown teammate. It wasn't really close after like level 7 or so. Just wasn't an issue with people dying to the Garrosh combo, so really, really well done by ParsleySnagRosemary&Line to make that defense happen. Wrath is wrath. That it is. Thanks, chat.
Yeah, we're going to message out and see if we can get a post-game interview.
Yeah, what a set. Though that was again, that was a wild one. From what looked to be a bit of a 3-0 to start, all of a sudden turned real fast around into no, this comeback stops here. So well done, really, to both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a really fun series. It was a lot closer than it looked like it was going to from the start of things, but I love a close series. Hey, welcome you guys.
Oh, that caster
Sneaking
privilege.
your way
Howdy.
on into the caster
privilege.
channels.
What? We're in a lobby.
So congratulations on your 3-2 victory. First
Thank
and
you.
foremost.
Yeah, that was a well played and fun series overall.
Definitely intense.
Yeah, definitely agree. And it looked like you guys really did your homework going into the series.
Yeah, I mean, I usually try to do a lot of scouting. I mean, Stats of the Storm is probably like the best tool in the world for HOTS, so you can get just all the information. It definitely helps.
Yeah, it does because I do zero scouting. It's all on Snag and Crosby.
Yeah, I don't even know why Linehouse is the captain, honestly.
Because I'm the greatest delegator of all time. That's why.
I mean, leadership is like 80% delegation. So if you can delegate
Right.
well, you got a lot of what you need to do done.
Exactly.
All right, so in your original series versus Team Happy Cloud, you did end up taking the victory 2-1. How did you approach this series differently from that original series, do you think?
I don't think we did much different. I think both teams, us and Team Happy Cloud, kind of played the comps that we wanted and we were planning to. Game like for original series, like a couple of the games were close, a couple of them not so close. They did really good drafting a couple of games, and same thing here. A couple good drafts, a couple good games, and played well. So honestly, I don't think there's really nothing else to change. It's just all scouting and playing the right way that you want to play.
It's kind of funny to me. It's like I remember the first series they completely outdrafted us in game 2, and they did it again in game 3. So in this series, so they just know when they're about on the ropes for this series, they know how to outdraft us. So congrats to them on that.
Yeah, so speaking of your strategy for these series, what's with the Zarya bans in game 1 and 2?
Definitely just trying to get away from any type of cheese. Just especially Braxis game 1, we were like, okay, if you pick Braxis and out of the scouting, they have not played Braxis this season at all. Like, they are coming in with a plan. So we're like, just try to get rid of as much cheese as we can possibly think of. They still went some type of cheese. So, and then throughout that, it was just kind of like, she can be annoying. They like to play it a couple times on comps that, can be surprising. So we're like, we figured we could win straight up. So if we just get rid of the variables that might cause problems, then we would do better.
All right, that seems pretty fair. And yeah, I gotta say the cheese I don't think really worked out too well for them. You definitely know how to play around a Cho'Gall.
Yeah, I mean, it's Cho'Gall.
Yeah,
Cho'Gall did get buffed.
I don't think
He did get buffed,
We
and I
didn't
have
really-
not seen him since. So I was hoping maybe Cho'Gall would be a viable pick and not a meme pick after the changes, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't think we even saw that coming though in the draft, if I remember correctly. It was kind of like, oh,
Yeah, from the draft, we're
Cho'Gall.
like, I mean, maybe the ban of the Grammy we were a little weird about, but it didn't actually put 2 and 2 together. I think also because they took the Blaze, we're like, it's not like the best, and Deckard's not the best with them, so like we're probably assuming if they do
Yeah.
pick them, it's not that big of a deal. Plus, we already had Cassia, and Cassia's kind of a good hero, so
Kind of a good hero, definitely not still overtuned at all.
right.
no, not at all.
And then they
Alex,
actually
that-
let you
that-
keep the Cassia in game number 2, and game number 2 I thought was even more in your favor than game number 1.
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny. So game number 2 on Tomb was almost the exact same as our Tomb game versus them in the regular season. Like, it was, I mean, obviously Cassia wasn't like busted back then, but
Yeah.
it was the variant into the Joanna, same map, and then eventually we just start overrunning them because they can't deal with either the taunt or the shield break.
And that's actually gotten even more powerful with the nerf to Johanna's D-Shield. The cooldowns line up very close to each other now.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's, I think varying into to Joe particularly is always just really good late game.
Shh, Linehouse, God. No, it's terrible.
Whatever.
Everybody keep playing
Whatever.
it.
Like we've run it so many times. Come on.
Right, yeah.
I've seen it a lot this season, especially just in the last second half of the season. I've seen so much variant into Johanna.
like just a thing that occurs a lot of the time. So
Yeah, it turns out Joanna's actually pretty squishy when she doesn't have her trait available, and then when she picks her trait and you immediately delete it, she's pretty squishy.
Yeah, it's definitely Johanna players and Deathwing players. They can sometimes be surprised when they're affected by things that they're normally not affected by.
Yeah.
Like Deathwing players, oh crap, a wall. Johanna players, wait a minute, I'm not unstoppable? What is this madness?
Unlucky.
Unlucky.
So, you
Big
had,
bummies, man. Big bummies.
you had Matt pick for Game 3. Why Cursed Hollow?
We wanted to run Crispy Taco.
Yeah.
fair enough.
And then they said, nah, we got Zero Tool on you. And
Yeah, they completely outdrafted that one. I couldn't, like, we literally was like, okay, we're 2 up. We can try to have some fun. You know, they picked Cho'Gall.
No.
We're fair that we
No
can
fun.
pick Crispy Taco, and so
I mean, we also legitimately thought the comp would work. It wasn't
We
necessarily
did.
fun. Like we
But
thought, we
Zeratul,
thought it
like,
would work.
shut
and
us
then
down.
they straight out. That's what we're saying. They outdrafted us that one. And like I remember, like freaking Brett on the Zeratul was always on me, and I'm just like at every 2 seconds, hey, by the way, I'm dying to Zeratul in the back line. Just FYI.
even as Tyrael, like Tyrael can't do anything to a Zeratul, so it's like, okay, he was on me most of the game too. It's either me or Linehouse, and I just like, okay, I'm dying because I can't go in. Sorry.
Yeah, it was really impressive to watch. Like, every time it looked like you guys were ready to engage, one person on your team was at half health already.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of times where you tried to do the Crispy Taco onto Zeratul, and I remember one of them in particular, he just dropped Void on himself and walked away.
Yeah, that was pretty clutch.
Yeah, that was rude.
Super rude.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, super rude. Sure.
How dare they?
How dare he save himself? Just let yourself die, Brett. Come on.
Yeah, it's
You
easier
don't hurt
that
yourself
way.
so much.
You can you get 40 seconds. You can go take a break for a sec.
Yeah, take a nap.
And then on Dragonshire, I thought in draft that looked like a game that you guys were going to be able to have a really good map on, but just from the 19-second mark on, they were just in control of tempo that whole game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I felt really bad on the Joe. Like, I did not play really well at all. They capitalized it on 100%. I think every time they saw me use a shield, they're like, okay, well, we're just going to go in now because Joanna can't do anything about it. It messed us up on the first Giants because I used shield early for some reason, and they're like, okay, I guess this is ours. And then a couple times with, like, Junkrat was really annoying. I don't know. I felt pretty useless. But the rest, I mean, the other team was doing really well to just kind of run at us every time.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think they just they pressured me very well too on my Ana. Like I felt like I couldn't, like the same thing with Snag. I felt like I couldn't do anything, and I felt just really bad that entire game. So that's why it's like in Game 5 I said, "Yep, I'm not playing Ana anymore." Like they're beating it, so it's
If I remember correctly, and maybe I don't, but I think you first picked that on Dragonshire as well.
Yeah,
We did.
Yep.
Yeah, we did.
We were expecting more.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we also didn't get the exact draft we wanted on that map, so
Yeah.
it is what it is.
All right, and then game number 5. You know, we were hoping for a big climactic back and forth, and if you're a THC fan, unfortunately, that was not really the case. They went for the speed barrier Garrosh combo, and it looked like you guys just kind of went, "Oh, we know how to deal with this," and you dealt with it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a combo you're
Yeah.
comfortable playing against?
So that
I think
one,
so.
I think.
I was
yeah.
gonna say for that one, I think just having Deckard already just makes it, you know, particularly when they don't have Ana anymore, so they can't heal cut. I can throw a Ruby out there very easily because they're all right there. That's where they want to be. So and after level 7 too, they do 40% less damage. I don't know. I think that was a huge part of that. Plus, you know, we had the Genji at the end as well, and the Sonya just deleting their backline.
Yeah.
There's not enough protection with just a Zarya, Garrosh, Tahaka.
Yeah, I mean, again, we've been banning Zarya kind of like the whole series. We had seen that they have ran this type of comp, either like a Zarya Blaze, Zarya Garrosh, and so we're like, we kind of just don't want to deal with it. There were other people on towers that we didn't want to deal with more, so we let it through. But yeah, we were planning to go in it with the Uther tank. It just worked out in our favor.
Yeah,
And I mean, I'll be honest. I just want to say it because I mean, no harsh to Sweet Buns, but I don't understand how you don't pick Unstoppable in that game. I think I would have died so many times if he had Unstoppable.
Yeah, it was definitely. It's not a pick that I understood, but I don't play Garrosh, so I expect to see
What do
Unstoppable
you take
every
instead?
game.
I don't remember.
He took the auto attack,
took,
reduces the cooldown of his W.
Yep.
I guess I could see that though too. Because his plan was to be in the back. Because I know one time he taunted me to prevent me from my sleep to on the engage. So I think that was the plan. Is that he was gonna run at the back line and try to stay alive a little bit longer. Then.
Yeah. Maybe it was a misclick. It very well could be. But I mean, like I said, no harm. Sweep Buns is great, and very scary as a tank. But I was like, the whole game. You could ask my team. I was like, why did he not take Unstoppable? They were yelling at me.
Yeah,
Just shut up.
We had to tell Snag, to stop it. It's like, come on, we're still playing.
Right.
The one thing that I think really made that game go in your favor was your lane arrangement compared to theirs. They had the non-race car Dahaka attempting to double soak, who doesn't double soak as well as just regular Sonya, which is what you had, but also Genji splitting out so often to just harry the Dahaka, so he could never take the quick rotations between lanes, and you just got so much XP advantage and kill pressure from the constant Genji rotations. And with them not finding the kills from their Garrosh combo, they weren't threatening in the bot lane because they didn't have all that good siege. So I felt like just in general you played the map more intelligently than your opponents did.
Yeah, I think we definitely showed a lot more patience on that game after the 2 losses in a row to be like, okay, we know that they're going to 4-man push, or it looks like they're trying to 4-man push. Tassadar easy clears. We play it slow, just try to stun the Garrosh from throwing, and then Genji just does harassing, and eventually we got the lead. So then you just got to hold it.
Well,
Just
I guess
hold the buff for it.
A little bit surprised at the Sonya pickup when Zul was still available. Is there any reason you opted not to go into that?
Wrath is wrath.
That is
Sonya
fair.
Mobetta.
I learned that this game from Crosby, actually, that Wrath is Wrath.
Wrath is wrath. That's pretty much all I have to say about that. I mean, when Wrath and a Slam just deletes an Avala, Zul's not going to do that.
That's true. That's a good point. And you had already gotten rid of the Malthael because he's phenomenal on that map as well. Alrighty, I think that's it for questions that I've got. Ace, do you got anything?
That's all I got. I got my questions in, so
Alright.
yeah, I'm good.
So we're going to give it on to... actually, I do have one more question. That is, you are playing against the Tainted Orphans in the Grand Finals. What, if anything, would you like to say to them?
Oof. Do your research.
Wow.
Wait, no, don't do your research. Don't do your research. No,
I got 5
just
games of research today.
don't play the game.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say, because I did hear their interview and I thought it was very delightful, because they by the way, they are a good team. I watched that match, and I will say that we are the number 5 seed. I know you said that you only looked at the number 1 and 2 seeds, but Division East is better, so all 8 teams are actually really good, and that's why we were the 5 seed, because like any of these teams could have made it. And,
shots fired.
You know. Yeah, I mean they threw the shade first, so I'm just saying, you know.
I know that's pretty weird. So
the
A East,
reason why.
yeah, because I mean A East was the top, or like the bottom 4 were all tied. So it was technically 1, 2, which were actually pretty close in points. 1, 2, 3, and 4 were all pretty close in points, and then 4 through 8 were all tied. So it's like literally we have, a top 4 team essentially out of 8 people, if that explains correctly. But yeah, A East is definitely way better, obviously.
Yeah. Confirmation bias. I had some really good matches with you guys as well. Appreciated being able to play you guys in the series, and yeah, good luck to you guys going forward. Do you have any shout outs for other people besides just the Tainted Orphans?
You can go this time, Linus. No, I did first last time.
Okay, fine. So I will shout out first to obviously our team and our coach, Crosby, and to say thank you to our fans, because we do have a lot of them in chat. It's always great to see. Shout out to obviously Team Happy Cloud. They're a really good team. It was a really fun series. So, and we played them a lot over the last, a lot of seasons. So it's always fun playing them. Shout out to both of you for casting. Thank you very much. And I'll do one final shout out to my dad. He's in chat. Was watching. So thank you for watching this. I know he's pretty good at understanding the game at this point now. So, always appreciate that.
Yo, that's
shout outs to
awesome.
Mr. Linehouse Senior.
Big hearts to Mr. Linehouse in the chat.
I think Linehouse covered them all. You got the other team. Yeah. Shout outs to Tainted for hopefully they don't win next week. Shout out to the beatbox, obviously, since that wasn't explicitly mentioned. But yeah, definitely shout out to the casters and NGS in general. It's always fun to play into these series, be able to play some level of HOTS.
Yeah,
I love you some crumbs to say shout out to Snag. You're welcome.
Yeah,
way better than Storm League.
definitely way better than Storm League.
Let's trademark
way
that.
better.
Way better than like trademark.
NGS, way better than Storm League.
I like it. All right, thank you guys for coming by, and good luck in your grand finals.
Yep, thanks.
Thanks, guys.
So yeah.
All right, that is going to be it for us, and for maybe the first time, at least in a while, there's not another NGS game going on because like there's 3 more NGS games or something low like that. So we're going to raid a different Heroes of the Storm channel in Slinkmeister, who we've played against in Unranked Draft a couple times.
Have we? I mean, we have.
We introduced Slinkmeister to Juice Pirates on Warhead Junction.
Oh.
She had not seen the strategy before, and I feel so bad, so we're gonna toss the raid on over her. Thank you everyone for coming by, and we're gonna get the raid started in just a sec when I can click that raid now button. Thank you everyone for coming by, and we will see you probably for Season 10.
We might get a grand finals.
We might, but there's better casters than us out there. I wouldn't feel bad.
Accurate.
All right, so bye-bye, everyone.